Hail, chosen of the Queen. We have been expecting you.
Queen Irene sent a missive detailing your arrival and orders. You are here to secure the staff of Magnus.
Safe in our vault below the city. We have guarded it day and night. When you are ready, I shall show you into the vault.
The wood elves deep in the forest say there's a being called the Wilder King who shapes Valenwood. If you would follow me.
Sounds like a load of superstition to me.
This work isn't going to do itself.
As you can see, our artisans have built some small amount of civilization amidst this barbaric wilderness. Marbrook will soon be a jewel of the Dominion in this backwood territory. As one would expect, we have encountered scattered protests, nonsense about protecting the trees. The local Bosmer are disorganized and flighty. Such outbursts usually fizzle out of their own accord.
They dug it up and broke it into pieces and brought it here. I saw the wagons.
Ah, the Mages Guild. If you would follow me inside. Behold the Mages Guild. The paint is still fresh, a marvelous addition to the city. Work remains, of course, but one does what one must on the fringes of the Dominion. The vault is below. Follow me.
This vault holds many rare plants that no longer exist in the Somerset Isles. Do take a closer look. I am no scholar of botany, but I know something about our specimens.
Alchemists pay a dear price for this plant. It will be the jewel of the royal gardens. We found these in a Valenwood cave of all places. We've been trying to transplant this unusual variety of redwort plant into Somerset for some time. Crimson Nernroot. We thought it was a Nord tall tale.
Valenwood soil is not surprisingly very fertile. These specimens are bound for the royal gardens.
This room holds Ayleid relics uncovered across Valenwood. Interesting, aren't they? We've removed any dormant traps that we know of, so feel free to examine them more closely. I will answer any questions you have about them. This helm is actually from our own collection, but one of our Bosmer allies stole it and then returned it in exchange for a song. The tree gifts. We're not actually sure what it does. Scholars believe this relic was broken into pieces when it fell from the heavens. They believe there may be others in Hectorheim, the legendary center of the Valenwood. Our ancestors have left traces of their civilization across Tamriel. If we follow Queen Irene, our empire will one day rival theirs. Behold, the staff of Magnus. What happened? Where is it? By the shining trees of Aldmeri, we have been burgled. But how? I know not. We have guarded the vault day and night. I placed the staff myself. No, the vault is off limits to all, but wait. Viceroy Palador recently toured the vault. The Queen's business, or so he stated. The staff was present before his visit, but I did not check after he left. Unthinkable. Yet, what other conclusion can we draw? Such illusionary magic is beyond the ken of a common thief. To the surface, I must question the watch. None have entered the vault save you and the Viceroy. I have confirmed it. He departed into the wilderness. He said he had orders from the Queen to bring Naaman's body. He did not return. He was always foolishly devoted to the prince. I pray nothing has happened to the prince's body, too. Staff of Magnus is an extremely powerful object. There's no telling what wickedness he could achieve if he desired it. Rest assured he would not have accessed the vault if we'd had any suspicion of his loyalty. Someone must inform the Queen.
Chosen of Marbrook, your queen has arrived. Bear witness to the glory of Queen Irene, hope of the Dominion.
Honor and praise, my friend. Do you have the Staff of Magnus? Paladil? Then it's true. He's betrayed us. My brother's body didn't make it to Marbrook either. I knew he loved Naaman dearly, but I didn't think he'd stoop to this. I will once again require your aid.
These wood elves and their forest spirits. Thou claws are they strange.
The Dominion's enemies strike from within and without. It makes allies like you all the more precious.
It is good to see you, my friend. Greenshade is far more exciting place than Raz expected. He hears now that the Staff of Magnus has been stolen, as if these rebellious Bosmer were not trouble enough. Not yet, but it is possible. The elves in this part of the Valenwood do not follow King Camoran. They claim to be subjects of the Wilder King, some forest spirit no one has ever seen. They mock the Dominion and call Queen Irene an enemy. We do not know. The Battle Reeves sent a soldier, Hazazi, to negotiate with the Bramblebreach clan, but he has made no progress. Now Raz needs to hunt for the Staff of Magnus, so he asks you, will you find Hazazi and sort this out? The Bramblebreach village is just south of Marbrook. Hazazi is there. He likes to complain, but he's a good soldier. He just needs someone with a more sophisticated negotiation style. And by the time you get back, Raz will have a lead on the staff. This one does not understand Bosmer clan politics, but as Raz hears it, the clans of this part of Valenwood have always been wild. Some even sided against King Camoran in the Blacksap Rebellion. Greenshade is the heart of Valenwood. It is very dangerous and very mysterious, and these Bosmer understand it like no others do. Raz would not be deterred, but even Camoran's Vindusk Rangers avoid traveling in this part of the forest. As always, Raz serves the Queen. She wanted to know if the Bosmer here are as scary as they sound. With the Staff of Magnus stolen, though, Raz must make that his priority. This one knows you can handle the Bramblebreach as well as he could. The obvious answer is probably the right one. Paladil. That toad fulfilled Naaman's every wish. Why should that change just because the prince is dead? Raz knew the veiled inheritance was a disease not so easily excised. If Paladil has taken the staff, we need to find him and discover what he plans to do with it. The staff is powerful and dangerous. All of the Dominion is at risk if we cannot find it.
Dark moons. These crazy Bosmer make no sense. Hazazi comes to negotiate on behalf of Queen Irene to hear their grievances, and all they do is dance and jest. Hazazi has only been here a short while, and already he hates this village. What negotiations? These dungy elves don't want talk. They say they only answer to the Wilder King. Who is this? Who knows? They'd rather pull Hazazi's tail than give him a straight answer. It's not fair. Hazazi always gets the worst assignments. Hazazi likes this idea. If you can just get the Bramble Breach to make sense, this one will be impressed. Hazazi thinks it's a wild guar chase, but if you want to try, speak with their tree thane. May you have better luck than Hazazi.
Another tourist? Rare to have so many visitors in this part of the Valenwood, didn't you hear? It's much safer behind the shiny new walls of Marbrook. Even King Camoran hesitates to venture into the court of the Wilder King. Negotiate? About what? Oh, I know. You want us to bow to your queen and swear allegiance to your what's-it's-called? Aldmeri Dominion. Huh. Problem is that our allegiance is to the Wilder King, and he doesn't seem to care for your Dominion. Ha! Sure. Let me just pull him from my satchel. You people don't understand. The Wilder King manages the entire forest. He doesn't have time for idle talk. Why do you think so many people doubt his existence? Not in person, but I don't doubt the Wilder King exists. He speaks to me in the babbling brooks and the wind in the trees. Other Bosmer petition him for an audience, but I don't need to. He already tells me everything I need to know. I could tell you, but how do I know you're trustworthy? You ask us to share your enemies, but will you share ours? The wood orcs are a plague we can't seem to be rid of. If you help us drive them off, I'll tell you what you want to know. Lurchers. Take seeds from the shimmering tree in the village and plant them in the orcs' camp. In a few minutes, they'll sprout out with a vengeance. The orc chieftain won't surrender so easily, though. Just kill him. Leave the rest to the lurchers. Don't bother coming back here until you've run off the orcs. I've got important business to attend to. Huh. They're gifts from the Wilder King, embodiments of the raw energy of the forest. They protect the village. They're not so smart. We can't lead them against the orcs, but if they sprout straight into the orcs' camp, they'll know what to do. Well, if you plant them in some peat, they sprout into a flower, and then after some time, the flower grows into a lurcher. If you want more than that, you can ask the Wilder King himself, when you get that audience.
Can you believe that tree thane? Was the tree thane as rude to you as she was to me? All I asked was how one might get an audience with the Wilder King, but the way she reacted, you would have thought I was trying to slaughter her children. Did she treat you any differently? She did? That's funny, because Ander and I offered to drive the orcs away and she turned us down. I don't know, I'm beginning to suspect this is some elaborate Bosmer trick and the whole village is laughing at us when we're not looking. I didn't say that. There is definitely a distinctive magical force in this part of Valenwood, but I fail to understand by what logic the tree thane decides who gets an audience with the Wilder King and who gets turned away. Oh, I'm Aranias. Maybe you've read my book, Spriggans in the Green, Story and Myth in Primitive Bosmer Society? Probably not, I guess. Anyhow, Ander and I came in a scholarly pursuit to see if this Wilder King is really as powerful as they say. We'll just have to venture deeper into the forest on our own. We'll probably get lost and suffer a slow and painful death, but that's the risk we have to take. If you're going after the wood orcs, though, I know something that might make it easier. If you want, you can take the essence from the calliope tree and rub it all over your body to cloak yourself in a haze of forest moths. The wood orcs won't even see you. Oh, one more thing. Onder scouted out the orcs' camp pretty extensively. He might have some useful observations if you ask. Good luck with the wood orcs and that tricky tree thing. Maybe we'll meet again when we find the Wilder King. There seem to be a lot more rumors than any real facts. Some say he's a man. Others say he's a spirit, an embodiment of the forest. What I find most fascinating, though, is the rumor that he actually shapes the entire forest. That's just incredible. Me? I was born and raised in the Somerset Isles on a rather small island known as Silitar. It's a pretty secluded place. Growing up there was what first sparked my interest in studying nature magic. But, well, it was very lonely. Of course not. He's mainly here, acting as my guardian. They warned us that this place was dangerous, and if the Wilder King is really as unpredictable as people say, well, never hurts to be prepared.
I spent several hours watching the wood orcs and evaluating their weaknesses. As a whole, their strength is in numbers. As long as you don't take on the entire camp, you should be fine. The chieftain's the one you have to watch out for. By the look of his scars, he's seen his share of battle, and he knows how to take a beating. Don't expect him to go down quickly. There's a shaman who's never far from his side as well. I'd focus on killing the shaman first. Good luck.
So the Wood Elves have a friend who's not afraid to fight? Good. Give me your best.
My scouts came back singing your praises. They said the Wood Orcs broke quickly after you killed Chieftain Thragdosh and unleashed the Guardians. I wasn't exactly expecting you to succeed. Seems there's more to you than meets the eye. And you're worried I won't hold up my end of the bargain? No, I keep my promises. You got rid of those parasitic orcs. You've earned the right to petition the Wilder King for an audience. I hope I haven't given you a sense of false hope, though. Bosma around here petition the Wilder King for an audience all the time, and he rarely responds. More than likely, you're simply wasting your time. Suit yourself. Just south of my home, you'll find the petitioning stone. Just touch it. Probably nothing will happen. If he wants to speak with you, though, he'll appear when you touch that stone. I never said it was complicated. Besides, by scaring off those wood orcs, you just might have improved your chances. The Wilder King sees these things, you know. All right, run along now, and may the forest part to reveal your path.
Welcome to my court, outsider. Since you entered my domain, I have watched your actions with keen interest. You have been generous with my people and more patient than I expected. But I still cannot gather one thing. Why have you come? Again, not what I expected. I think I've heard of this Aldmeri Dominion, but I don't see how inclusion in this group would appeal to me or to the people in my domain. Aligning with you would only alienate us from others. Interesting. You think we have common enemies? My only enemies are those who would seek to harm Valenwood. Let us test your theory, though. Show me one of these enemies of whom you speak, so I might better understand. Use the other stone pillar, the one on the platform behind us. Touch that stone pillar and an apparition will appear. One of your enemies, as you say. Fight this enemy so that I might see its true nature. I am pleased to be able to lend you strength to face this enemy from your past.
Strike us down. The veiled heritance will always rise again.
Zazi is finished with this village.
I sense the darkness in the heart of the one you fought, but he has already been defeated, has he not? And those like him, they may not all share his darkness. You should have me call these people enemies, though. The Veiled Heritance. Yes, I am familiar with this distinction as well. There is one among this group who has come to Valenwood to see me, and I find her curious. Very curious. I'm not inclined to consider her an enemy. She is one who has been blessed with fascinating gifts. Gifts I cannot afford to ignore. You would know her identity, though. I was able to capture one of her memories. Touch the petition stone again, and I will share it with you.
We have much need of someone like you, Ananias.
Yes, young one. We have a problem in the Valenwood that will require your talents specifically.
I would be honored to help however I can.
An opportunity has arisen to strike a devastating blow to the Dominion, to divide the Bosmer.
The Bosmer in Greenshade claim allegiance not to King Camoran, but to a man they call the Wilder King.
Killing this Wilder King will drive the Bosmer mad. He is very elusive, though, so I will need your help to find him.
You realize we are entrusting you with an important task, I hope, my dear.
Of course, Lady Estrie, you can count on me.
As you've just seen, the young girl Aranias is associated with the Veiled Heritance. Until I know more about her, I hesitate to call her an enemy. I will have more insight soon, though. Even now, Aranias is on her way to my throne. So she believes, but there may be a greater truth to her purpose here. You may not like this, but I sense the same is true of you. Like the branches of a gratok, I believe that Aranias' destiny, my destiny, and your destiny are all intertwined. I cannot yet see how these events will play out, but I do know that like Aranias, you must come deeper into the forest. You must eventually come to my throne, but not yet. Each of us is a strand to be spun into the story of Valenwood. You should seek out the spinner, Marrowan. He can tell us how this story began and where it should end. Yes, traveling through Valenwood is a funny thing. It may take them many days to find the path to my throne. You have all the time you need. Find the spinner's cottage and speak to Marrowan. Safe journeys, my friend.
I was beginning to think you wouldn't make it. I've already begun Aranias' story. Yes, of course. I have been waiting for you for some time. The story needs you to play a part in the present, and in the past. You certainly took your time about things. Not your fault, I understand, not your fault. We may yet get this right. Inside the story, you must also enter the story in order to help her. Aranias wants to see the Wilder King. I'm his gatekeeper. To see him, you ask me nicely, and then I tell you a story. A story that you take part in. Yes, the story is one from her own past, but she's convinced that she's living through these events for the first time. You'll play the part of the close friend she never had, someone she can trust who can change the person Aranias becomes. Ask nicely. Of course. Now, sit down by the fireplace. Imagine there's a nice warm fire burning there, and I'll set the scene. Have a seat by the fire and let me know when you're ready to hear the story. Remember, ask nicely. Imagine the flames are the waves of a vast ocean. Cold waves on a clear blue ocean off the coast of Somerset. Now picture an island. Trees around the island shimmer in the sunlight. Each gently cresting ocean wave sparkles. Many stones, roots, and flowers on the island were shaped by magicka. Only 2 living Aldmer possess such power. One of those 2 Aldmer stands outside the manor on this island. Her island. Go to her. Become her friend. The island of Silitar.
I'm so glad you could come. My parents will be back tonight, and I was afraid I'd have to face them alone again. That's why I asked you to come early. I'm not sure what will happen either. Before they get back, I want to be carefree. We can visit some of our favorite places together. Why wouldn't I? We practically grew up together. You're the only one I can trust these days. Bramble Breach? You know my parents have never let me leave Silitar after they saw what I can do. I've missed so much. What happened at Bramble Breach? They were afraid, like everyone else. After I raised up the land under the sea and smashed that ship, even though nobody got hurt, they said my magic was too dangerous. You're the only one who isn't afraid of me. You're not afraid, right? You don't know what this means to me. Now, what will we do first? I know, let's race to the lighthouse like we did when we were little. Bet you still can't catch me. Watch your step! Don't trip! Are my vines getting in your way? Not bad. You're pretty fast. Maybe. You know, I've always had a special connection to the land. Sometimes things happen and I don't even think about it. It just happens. I'm sorry, it just happened. Wait, something's wrong. Can you feel that? The land's in pain, burning hot. Look, the farm's burning! Over the rise. Wait. Too many footsteps, and it's too early for my parents' return. Boots. Boots. There are invaders on Silitar. We have to stop them. That'll show them. No one attacks my island. What have they done to my farm? Why would they do this? Animals! Does it matter? I'm tired of this. Everyone wants to hurt me or use me, and it stops now. Where were you when my parents tested me? Where were you when I needed you most? You left me. Why are you even here? Do you want something from me too? I'm sorry. After my parents left, I felt so alone. I couldn't find you. People kept coming. They'd attack, hound me, want me to show them what I can do, like I was a circus animal or some kind of pet. I shouldn't take it out on you. No, it's not your fault. Thanks to you, these bastards didn't get very far. They could have destroyed everything. It's getting late. We need to clean up before my parents return. Meet me at the manor later.
Come, I must speak with you once more. In her tale, Aranias was volatile, and she swung between anger, shame, and hope. Feared by her own parents because of her abilities, she faced the bandits alone. This made her bitter and hardened against others, vulnerable to outside influences. You will soon see it for yourself. But first, you should view another scene from Aranias' past. She was a bit younger and excited about her newly found skills. Are you ready? Of course not. For her, it hasn't happened yet. Remember, I put you into her past to help her when she's at her most vulnerable. She lashed out at you just now because she can't fight against her parents. She trusts you. That's what's important.
Why are your clothes all wet?
Mother, what do you think of this tree? How about this island you're standing on?
The ground is soaked. I'll need new shoes now.
I made it.
What? You made the ground soggy?
The island. I made this little island.
What? Ara, what do you mean you made it?
These trees, those rocks. None of this was here yesterday. The ground is wet because I used my magic to pull it up from under the water.
Oh, Ara, what have you done?
Gifted with a rare and powerful ability, Aranias tried in vain to win her parents' affection. So much happened next, but I especially draw your attention to two particular events. One scene is atop the lighthouse, the other in the manor's great hall. They will help you understand more about our troubled Aldmeri, I hope. No, the greatest challenge comes next, and Aranias needs you. Her parents returned after the attack on the farm, and brought with them the people they considered their daughter's only hope, the Veiled Heritance. She should not face this alone. Getting changed at the manor. You should do the same after you watch those scenes. You'll find a change of clothes in the guest bedroom off the Great Hall. Then, go to Aranias in the garden.
I'm sorry.
You're lucky they're alive. How many more ships will you sink?
It was an accident.
Accidents are spilling water, dropping glass. You lifted a ship out of the ocean with a wall of rock.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Your mother and I will discuss your punishment. Go.
Your father and I leave for Somerset in the morning.
I won't do it again, I promise. I'll try harder. Don't leave me behind.
Don't grovel. It's unbecoming. We will return with help to control your temper.
How much more can I apologize? I said I'm sorry.
No, Ara. It's just, you need training. What you did to the ship, that scares people.
What sort of training, Father? You look good. How do you feel? You asked me this before, silly. I don't know, but when I think about changing things around me, my thoughts come true. Remember when that merchant ship sank? I'd lifted the ground out of the ocean. I just forgot to lower it again. There are so many people. And look, it's High Kin Lady Estrie. Why is she here? I bet my parents want me to show off my powers. I thought they were bringing me a teacher or something. hesitant? I hate this, and they've got something particular they want to see. Would you do me a favor and find out? Mingle among them, eavesdrop. Find out what they've planned for me. I'm not sure yet. They'll probably want another statue raised from the ground. My parents treat that like a party trick, and this is a party after all. But the way they're talking, it sounds more dangerous, and I'm a bit worried, to be honest.
Her parents invited me to witness her powers firsthand. She lifted the ground up under my very feet. Her demonstration today will not be one of skill, but of character.
Ander has one of the little beggars in the field, away from the house. Aranias will demonstrate her talents on the other. Her demonstration will determine how we employ her talents.
The sooner we can leave this provincial backwater, the better.
Ander demonstrates amazing potential. Why are we bothering with this girl and her clods of dirt? Ander could melt them with hardly a thought.
What do they call her? The Rock Witch? Hilarious. Provincial.
Can you imagine making an alliance with such lesser creatures?
I'm afraid this one is about to die. I didn't realize how frail Bosmer were. Not this goblin-faced meat-eater, his wife. Wait a minute. You're not with the Heritants?
They took my wife. They will give her to the witch, the Rock Witch. The land will kill her. They said the land...
You killed Ander? That's not supposed to happen. Oh, don't worry. It was an entertaining twist, to be sure. But sadly, as real as it may seem, this is just a story. In real life, you were not there to kill Ander. He has had considerable time to grow in power, and his temper has not gotten any longer, if you understand me. It seems the Veiled Heritants have sent him after Aranias to ensure she kills the Wilder King, or dies if she fails. I met him. He wanted to get into this story, but he wouldn't ask nicely. But there's nothing we can do about that right now. We have a story to finish. Aranias' big moment is about to arrive. You should go to her. In the garden. She's been commanded to kill the wife of this Bosmer. You should hurry to her. She faced this alone last time.
This creature is no different from those who burned your farm. Please. Aranias, my child. Raise the ground up to track this animal. Please let us go. Aranias, do you remember how helpless you were when your farm burned? Good. Good. Now tear this animal apart.
This is my test. If I can take the life of this girl, it means that I am willing to make the necessary sacrifices. What about the Bosmer who attacked my island? What were they, Dominion ambassadors? A peace mission? If I refuse to kill this Bosmer, then what? I'll be alone again. The Rock Witch of Silitar, a monster for fairy tales. You're here with me now, but what about later? No, that's not it. I must trust myself. Believe I can do what's right. I don't need anyone, you or the Veiled Heritance, to guide me. I am stronger than this. I won't murder an innocent to prove I can, no matter who demands it. The Veiled Heritance won't control my destiny, I will. I can do this, and I shall. No, I won't do it!
You were a fine character, most enjoyable, and it looks like you made quite an impression on Arrhenius. As one story ends, another reaches its climax. Our little bit of mischief was a success. Because of you, Arrhenius may very well betray her masters to defend the Wilder King. Truly, I hope we never need change a story so extensively again. Though we spinners can do so, it's usually better to let a tale conclude on its own. Usually. Venturing into the story of Arrhenius' past has sown the seeds of her transformation, but they have yet to sprout. Even now, she and Ander blaze a trail of destruction toward the Wilder King's throne. Their intention is to destroy him. Preserving his life may be impossible at this point, but you must try. Without him, the Valenwood will rage out of control. The only hope lies with Arrhenius and with you. Go to Greenheart and follow the trail of fire to the Wilder King's throne.
It's good you're here. With earth magic and fire, Arrhenius and Ander force their way towards my throne, leaving chaos in their wake. I've lost control of my guardians. My power fades. I've always wondered what death would be like. Soon, I will know. My end was inevitable all along. Someone new must become caretaker of the Valenwood. Arrhenius was guided here for this purpose. It's fascinating. In her heart, I think she knows the truth, but she's conflicted. Perhaps it is Ander's influence. I think you should catch up with him. Follow the trail of fire. Arrhenius must choose to accept the responsibility of her own accord, but Ander will not understand. I expect he will oppose her, and she will need your help to defeat him. Quickly, Arrhenius wavers. She knows now why she was guided here. Not to destroy the Valenwood, but to save it. She wants to change course, but she's afraid. She's afraid to stand up to Ander. Arrhenius' powers grow as she draws closer to the throne. She opened the ground here and they entered the throne tunnels. You must follow. You must be there to help Arrhenius when she decides to make her stand. My hold over the creatures of the Valenwood has weakened. That is why they panic and attack. I lack the strength to pull them back. But I can make it so you appear less threatening. Be careful, though. This enchantment will only last a short time.
It's you. From Silitar. My friend. Thank the Eight. You were right about the Veiled Heritance, I'm sure now. They used me as bait to trick the Wilder King, and now Ander's going to kill him. I can't let that happen. I have to stop Ander. I don't know. But somehow it seems like that's what I was meant to do all along. When he burned the forest, I actually felt its pain. I think I'm connected to this place. I can't fight Ander, though. He's too strong. Will you help me? He's gone ahead. I can travel through the roots to catch up, but you will have to fight your way through. This might help. Use this bundle of roots and you can burrow for short distances. It will at least get you past Ander's fires. I will protect the Wilder King as long as I can, but you must hurry.
There be
be no end to these interruptions!
Quickly! The Wilder King is weak. I must get him to the tower. You should come too.
Aranias was guided here to take my place, but I believe you were guided here to assure her ascension. If you had not come, I fear Arndor would have killed us both, leaving the Valenwood wild and vengeful. Many lives would have been lost. Yes, for centuries my sole focus has been shaping and maintaining the Valenwood, protecting it from outside influence and from itself. Now that she has come, I am free to return to the Earth, give back to that which has given so much to me. She is up above. You should go to her. She is frightened of the transformation process, but you must comfort her. This is the natural course of things. It is necessary for her and for the Valenwood, but she must choose it of her own accord.
I'm scared. Shouldn't I be feeling confident? I mean, we defeated Onder. Look at all of this, though. I've worked my magic on small pieces of land in the Somerset Isles, but this is an entire forest, a living forest. Tell me I can do this. I think he was a man too once, the Wilder King. I mean, he was like us, but when he took this on, he became something else. I think he merged with the Valenwood and forgot his previous self entirely. Well, yes. It means that once I accept this responsibility and become Wilder Queen, I'll forget my previous life, my home, my youth, everything. No, but they are my memories, and some of them fond. The ones with you. They seem only partially real, but they're the memories I'll miss most. I have to let go, though. The way I embrace you in my heart, that's how I must embrace the Valenwood. Yes, but I need your help. You must climb the tower further and place the Wilder King's crown in the gardens there. Then you must wait for me. Promise you'll wait. Everything is so very different. It's like I'm no longer a single physical form, but my being is spread out across the forest. Aranias is slipping away. You are my friend, though, whoever I become. Will you stay for just a moment? I am prepared to lose my memories, but I don't want to lose the lessons I've learned. You helped me understand the difference between a foe and a friend. I'm determined not to forget that, nor to forget you. I know why you originally came here, to ask for the Wilder King's allegiance to the Aldmeri Dominion, to know the Valenwood was on your side. Would you still make such a request to me now? And I freely give it. On behalf of myself and the Valenwood, you have our allegiance. I only hope Irene realizes that her best ally stands before me now. Before Aranias' memories fade, though, there's something else I must tell you. It's the Veiled Heritans. As you may know, they stole the Staff of Magnus. I know not where they've taken it, but you should search in Woodhearth, to the west. I will open a portal to the western gate of Greenshade. Goodbye, my friend.
I can't believe it. He was right again. When will I learn not to wager my gold against Razumdar's instincts? He said you would be coming this way. Is it true, then? Did you persuade the Wilder King to swear loyalty to Queen Irene? The Wilder Queen, eh? Times are changing in Valenwood, aren't they? All this has put the Dominion in a delicate position. I suppose that's why it's so important that we are here. Razumdar sent me here to await your arrival. He wants you to join him as quickly as possible. It seems Vicereeve Peladil came this way after stealing the staff of Magnus. Who can be certain? I suspect he merely seeks to find a ship and flee back to the Somerset Isles. Perhaps he is determined to see Prince Naaman's body laid to rest there. Razumdar has his own suspicions, though, and he seemed quite concerned. He was unwilling to share his suspicions with me. Whatever his instincts may be, though, this time I will wager that he's on the mark. Undoubtedly, Razumdar intends to share his thoughts with you. You'll find him in the Thalmor headquarters.
Will you hold still? This illusion requires precision, which I cannot achieve with your tail constantly twitching.
Bah! This Thalmor mage will drive Razumdar mad. Stand here, hold this, everything's so exact. This one prefers more flexibility. He is glad another eye is here who understands, because we must move quickly here if we are to protect the Dominion. We must find Peladil, of course. This one tracked his stinking hide here after he stole the staff of Magnus. He's the boss of the Veiled Heritance now, and he has allies here in Woodhearth. Dirty traitors who conspire against Queen Irene. This we do not know yet, but Razumdar has devised the perfect way to flush these rats from their hidey holes. If they had an opportunity to assassinate the Queen, surely they would take advantage of it, yes? No, Razumdar will be the Queen instead, if this mage does his job, of course. We will go soon, so Raz must prepare. Speak to Trithane Fariel. She can tell you more about the traitors who are helping Peladil. This one would ask a favor. If the Thalmor mage turns Razumdar into a monkey, you must exact vengeance. Oh, and you would need to track down Peladil on your own. Raz hopes this will not be the case, though. Razumdar thought the Vicereeve was a clawless coward. Always going on with Prince name on this and Prince name on that. So pathetic. But he is more tricky now. All this one knows is that Peladil is near and that he has the staff of Magnus. Last time this one saw Naaman, he was still quite dead, but Peladil wouldn't drag around the prince's corpse just to make sure he gets a proper burial. Some sort of necromancy must be planned, but why? Naaman can't rule the Dominion if he is undead. You share Razumdar's distaste, yes? We must accept them, though. The Thalmor were sent to Woodhearth when the Dominion was formed. This port is critical for trade, and there is concern it could be a target for enemy spies or for the Maumur. Battlereeve or Selmo issued the orders, but Queen Irene gave her blessing. She prefers not to send the Thalmor to every city in the Dominion, but in this case, she had little choice. Even Trithane Fariel agrees they are needed. Of course, wherever there is sea, there is the threat of the Sea Elves. They've sought to conquer these shores for centuries, and the rise of the Dominion has only served to provoke them. The Thalmor help boost the city's defenses. A perfect illusion, he says, to make Razumdar look like Queen Irene. This one prefers a regular disguise, but Trithane Fariel doubts that would suffice. You should speak to her so we can get on with this.
So you're the one who's going to accompany the cat on this guar-brained scheme of his. I hope you realize what you're up against. These traitors in our city have sought to stir up rebellion since the day King Camoran joined the Dominion. So you'd think, but we've never caught any of the traitors. They may not actually be Bosmer at all. Our enemies are always one step ahead of us. Roman doesn't want to believe it, but I think it's obvious there's a spy among the Thalmor. No, we've gone to great pains to keep Razumdar's plans secret. The spy must believe that Iren is really here. There have been rumors that the Maorma plan to raid us, so we've put word out that the Queen has come to make sure the city's safe. Yes, mad as the cat may be, his plan might actually work. The story is that the Queen wants to personally investigate the old Imperial Underground. You'll escort her there to meet Astaril, a Thalmor officer we suspect may be a spy. Ha! The cat didn't tell you, did he? No, we can't send any guards. We don't know who we can trust. He thinks the two of you can handle it, though. I don't know if I'd call that confidence or foolhardiness, but I hope Bandar is with you either way. As soon as Xanador gets the spell right and turns your friend into a queen. Assuming this works, you and Razumdar should leave for the Imperial Underground straight away. Oh, here we go now. It's about time.
Very convincing. But is the illusion applied everywhere? Perhaps this one should take a moment in private to double-check, yes?
There were no miscalculations, I assure you. Now excuse me, I must wash the smell of cat from my robes.
Raz looks good in this form, but then Raz always looks good. Queen Iren could maybe learn a thing or two from this one. A fair point. Raz, I will keep that in mind. You have spoken with the Tree Thane, then? You understand my genius plan, yes? Yes. There we will find out the truth about this Thalmor officer Astaril. She's quite the beauty, I'm told, but traitors are never what they seem, yes? This one is... no. I'm ready when you are. Be ready. This one is counting on you to watch his, her back. Astaril, is that you?
Yes. Come closer, my queen. I have something for you.
What is this?
A gift in memory of Prince Naaman. Vice-Reeve Peladil sends his regards. You will die, and the true King of Alinor will rise again.
Well, that hurt. Raz will be fine. A few burns will not kill this one. But for the moment, he thinks you should press on alone. You must catch Astaril and find out where Peladil is hiding. She used some kind of magic to escape, but it was not a portal, so she cannot have gone far. She must still be here, somewhere in these tunnels. Raz heard sounds of fighting. Did you catch up with Astaril? Were you able to question her about Peladil? Dark moons. If Astaril got away, we will have to track her down. And the Veiled Heritance is here? That is troubling. Razumdar suspected a few might have come, but he did not expect them to be here in any numbers. Some of Razumdar's contacts warned him that the Veiled Heritance was not putting all its hopes on Prince Naaman, that they had backup plan. Naaman is dead. This must be backup plan. Possibly. If they cannot rule the Dominion, perhaps they would destroy it by attacking Valenwood. But Raz would not have thought the Heritance could muster enough manpower. Let us go. We must tell Tree Thane Fariel what we have learned.
If what Razumdar says is true, the city of Woodhearth owes you a debt. Of course, if the city's attacked and destroyed, that won't be worth much. Maybe we can prevent that. The cat said you found orders from Vice-Reeve Peladil. Can I see them? Damn! This proves that Peladil is planning something here. Something even bigger than killing the Queen. I'm glad you brought it to light. I just hope it's not too late for us to do something about it. There's something about Peladil's orders. The reference to Astral seems strange, and a Roman still refuses to believe she betrayed us. Either way, Astral's the key to unraveling this mess. We need to question her and find out what she knows. Well, if she hasn't realized we're onto her, we might be able to catch her by surprise. She might be down at the Thalmor residence right now. I assume a Roman will want to be there when you confront her. The three of you should go quickly, though. Even if Astral's fled the city, you might be able to find some clues about Peladil's plans in her quarters. Let's hope you find something, because otherwise, we don't have much to go on. Not much, really. I heard he just followed Prince Naaman around like a little lost puppy. Now he runs off with Naaman's body, steals the staff of Magnus, and takes charge of the Veld Inheritance. It seems this puppy might have a bite after all.
This is preposterous. Astral has risked her life for the Dominion more times than I can count. She is one of my best officers. I refuse to believe this irresponsible slander until I have spoken with her myself. You must understand, one doesn't become a Thalmor agent until their loyalty is proven beyond question. If Astral confesses, or if we find substantial proof, I will admit I was wrong. Until then, I remain extremely skeptical. This is Thalmor business, and I am going to the Thalmor residence to confront Astral myself. You are welcome to accompany me if you choose. You see? It's clear that Astral has been dead for some time, so she cannot have been the one you saw in the Imperial tunnels. I told you, say what you will about the Thalmor, but we do not have traitors in our midst. Her death troubles me greatly, but the integrity of the Thalmor is of greater concern, and I am pleased to be proven right in that respect. With that concern behind us, we can finally start searching for the true source of this treachery. Undoubtedly, it was the same person that assumed her likeness and attempted to assassinate the Queen, Razumdar. Speaking of the cat, it seems he may have found something.
This one looks forward to pouncing upon an unsuspecting Peladil. This nonsense is becoming tiresome. There could be some useful evidence down here. Let us look closely before moving on. Astaril had a sister? A twin, perhaps? That would explain much. Raz suspects these tunnels will reveal the rest.
Perfect. My favorite people. The very faces of my failure. And now you've tracked me down just to watch me die? You're just like my sister and the rest of the Thalmor. No sympathy whatsoever. Funny you should ask. I was wondering the same thing. Then I realized he lured me here so his assassins could kill me. This is my reward for my loyal service. A blade in my gut. And a nice cold tomb. Planning? Oh, he's well past that point. As we speak, his armies are storming the shore, up at Seaside Sanctuary. Once they've got a foothold there, they'll conquer all of Valenwood. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Of course not. They're just one prong of the mighty trident with which Peladil will smite the Dominion. He signed a treaty with the Malma, and with the staff of Magnus he's going to raise an army of undead. Yes, your days are numbered, all right. It's simple enough. The Sea Elves have always coveted these shores. If they help Peladil dismantle the Dominion, he's agreed to give them Valenwood. It's not like these damn Bosma have done anything other than cause us trouble. You mean elsewhere? Far as I know, Peladil doesn't even care. He just wants the Somerset Isles. I don't even think he wants to rule them himself. As long as they're ruled by someone other than Naaman's sister. Of course. Who better to lead an undead army than an undead prince? And if Peladil brings him back, Naaman will be bound by the Vicereeve's will. And no longer will Peladil need to worry about the prince making bad decisions. Ha! Peladil says he's under no illusions about that fact. But he still gets rather glossy-eyed when speaking about Naaman. I suspect he still harbors some hope that the prince will play a role in the future he has envisioned. Irene is a false queen. And the Aldmeri Dominion is a pathetic joke. Nothing can change that fact, even Peladil turning on me. I'd gladly sacrifice my life to bring about the Dominion's downfall. It means my life was worth something. Having her as a twin was torture. While she climbed the ranks of the Thalmor, I was perceived as a failure. When Peladil recruited me, it was my turn to shine. I have no regrets. In the end, Asterel and I both lost our lives for the cause. Just leave me to die. I wouldn't accept your help, and you'd be better off not offering.
Razumdar explained how we were fooled by Lauril. I wish I had time to show proper gratitude, but he also told me that an army of Mauamer, led by Vicereeve Peladil, is making landing on our shores. Is this true? Damn. Honestly, I rather hoped he misheard. I suppose that's rarely the case. Very well then. I will muster the city's defenses, but there is only so much we can do. I'm certainly glad you're here. You and Razumdar may be our best hope. You should get to Seaside Sanctuary as soon as possible. If we strike the Mauamer hard enough there, we might be able to drive them back out to sea before they get a foothold on the shore. I'll send anyone I can spare, but the city comes first. There is an outpost at the Sanctuary with a few soldiers, if it hasn't been overrun. Go through the Serpent's Grotto and look for Major Serenway. She's the commanding officer.
Little elf thought he could get away from Ablan. He was wrong.
The hour of our glory is nigh. Razumdar forewarned me of your coming, and I have considered our circumstances carefully in light of that. I have the utmost faith in your capabilities, and I am confident that your arrival is an augur of our victory. Indeed. We have fought alongside many of the same soldiers, and word travels quickly when it involves heroics such as those attributed to you. I have anticipated the chance to meet you in person, and I am pleased the opportunity has finally arrived. This, my friend, is the calm before the storm. Our storm. The Mauamer believe that holding hostages will prevent us from taking action, but we will not allow such cowardice to determine our course. We will act, and we will act decisively. We charge into their encampment, rescue the hostages, and slaughter their commanders. This full scout we captured gave us their locations. You and Razumdar shall spearhead our attack. One of you to handle the hostages, the other on the commanders. More brave soldiers arrive soon from Marbrook. We will rally them here and prepare to launch a full-scale attack. When your task is done, light the beacon in the lighthouse. That will be our signal to charge in and drive the bastards back to the sea. Olmian, Mayritel, and Bashira, all very influential in their own way. We need to ensure they're freed before we launch a full-scale attack. Husband of the Tree Thane of Woodhearth, Fariel. As good a fighter and tracker as any Wood Elf I've known. Just shows how Paladel caught even the best of us off guard. A respected noble from Somerset. She was on her way to Eldenroot to meet with the Thalmor. You might imagine the problems it would cause if something happened to her. Around here, they call him the Fat Cat. Wealthiest merchant in Woodhearth, but don't think his influence is limited to the city. Money moves, you know. More brave soldiers arrive soon from Marbrook. Olmian, Mayritel, and...
Time to do what we do best, yes? This should be fun. Excellent. Many opportunities for heroism, adventure, and thrilling tales after the fact. So, my friend, what will it be? Will you tend to the hostages, or take out their commanders? Ha! Dirty hands for dirty work. Raz will see to our captive friends then. Stay out of sight if you can, or grab Larnil's armor. It's not fashionable, but you'll at least blend in. Always. Raz will see you at the lighthouse when our tasks are completed. Bright moons guide your steps.
Oh, God's mercy! What's going on? Why don't you just kill me? To let me linger like this, it's wrong. Wait, you're not one of them, are you? Where in oblivion am I? Who are you? Vice-Reeve Peladil, that monstrous bastard. He captured us in Woodhearth and brought us here for some evil ritual. He bled us, mutilated us. He ripped out our eyes. Gods, do I even look normal anymore? No, I'm not all right. I'm dying. And it's just as well. It was that bitch, Asteril's sister. She pretended to be Asteril and ordered us into the Imperial Underground. Then the Veiled Heritants ambushed us. They needed sacrifices for the ritual. They were raising Prince Naaman from the dead, bringing him back and imbuing him with some terrible power. Peladil kept talking about how the prince would lead an undead army, but I don't think it worked out the way he hoped. When Naaman came back, he wasn't the same. Sounded like some evil spirit was speaking through him. He spat in Peladil's face. Then he just left. Peladil was furious. He stormed out a little later. That's all I was able to hear. No. My eyes are gone. I'm probably scarred all over my body. Please, I just want to die. All I ask, just make them pay for this.
Send another score and I will smite them just the same. I could cut down sea vipers all day long. Well done, my friend. We'll have the sanctuary back under control quickly now, but we can't stop here. The battle's only just begun. So I had hoped. But it seems Vice-Reeve Peladil has taken to sea even before we arrived. I suspect he may attempt to flee when he realizes his forces have lost the shore. That's why you must go after him. You must ensure Peladil does not escape. Captain Jimala and her crew have retaken the Prowler, and she says the ship's fit for action. They're ready to set sail as soon as you get on board. May the winds be at your back, my friend, and may Piladil fall quickly to your strength.
There you are. Impressive work back there. The Marmor didn't know what hit them when our forces stormed in, and I've got my ship back. Of course, the Prowler's been sitting at dock too long. She's ready to pounce on that bastard Paladil as soon as we catch him. And catch him soon we will. You have the captain's word on it. Good. The sooner we're underway, the sooner we can catch Paladil. Raise anchor!
king is risen. Even if I fall, Naaman will be my vengeance. Naaman has the staff of Magnus. Nothing you can do will stop him.
The Serpent Slayer! You saved the day!
You made it. I was beginning to have my doubts, but I trust that the Vicereeve will no longer be a threat. Then this is cause for celebration. Let us return to the shore and share the good news with Major Sirenwe. Are you ready to return? By John and Jode, I wasn't sure we make it out of that one, but you never cease to impress. Things are always exciting when you're around, it seems. No, I will stay aboard the Prowler. I miss her greatly when we are apart, so I will celebrate our victory here on deck with my crew and several bottles of moon sugar double rum. You go on. Savor this victory. You certainly earned it.
Tales of today's battle will undoubtedly be told for generations. When soldiers of the Aldmeri Dominion face impossible odds, they will not retreat. They will say, "Remember the Battle of Seaside Sanctuary," and they will press on to victory. Let us hope. If they do rear their ugly heads again, we will smite them once more. There remains one very serious concern, however. The soldiers we captured say the Vicereeve conducted a ritual to raise Prince Naaman from the dead. We have conflicting reports on that concern, but Razumdar is investigating. Regardless, your first priority is to inform the Queen of our victory and this unfortunate news about her brother. Give her this letter. It contains all the details.
I hear you've been busy, my friend. Good. Very good. Is that letter for me? I see. So the rumors were true. Peladil. It is good that you brought him to his end, but I hope you aren't too weary, may I? Peladil may be gone, but his actions are being felt across Valenwood. We have much left to do.
Your Majesty, the undead are massing at Drilledan Pass. A Lich Lord commands them, and he wears the royal crest.
Naaman, then I must beg your indulgence. I cannot speak just now. Please, speak to him at once. I'm glad Peladil's threat is ended, but the Staff of Magnus is still missing. For now, I have another task for you. Undead rise in the north. Bodring and his Vindusk hold the line. Meet him at Marbrook's North Gate and aid him however you can.
So it is true then? Prince Naaman has been raised from the dead and now seeks vengeance by corrupting Valenwood? Gods help us. That makes this even more difficult. And with the undead already outside the city gates, we must act now. No, the Lich Lord, Naaman was commanding the dead earlier, but he's since departed the area. Before anyone can go after him, though, we must first drive the undead back from the city gates. You should make haste to Drilledan Pass. I'm certain they will be grateful for your assistance. Look for Scout Katani just outside the city gates. She's helping to coordinate our defenses. I'll remain here in case the Queen needs anything.
I have been a soldier all my life, but never have I seen such a dreadful turn of events. Prince Naaman? An army of undead? It's fortunate Camoran sent the Vindusk Rangers, because there are simply too few Dominion troops to defend the city. Talk to the Vindusk. Bodring is in command here. He'll know best what needs to be done. May the gods be with you, friend. May the gods be with us all.
It's ugly and getting uglier out here. As our living soldiers fall, the ranks of the dead swell. At this rate, we'll all be fighting for the other side by tomorrow's dawn. And that's not even the worst part. It's Prince Naaman. Poor old boy's been raised from the dead himself, but he's not himself. No trace of the hero Irene says he was in life. He's pure evil now, and from what we can tell, he's the one leading the undead army. I haven't a clue, and I don't have time to worry about it. We need to focus on the living, not the dead. Main Akuzri and several soldiers are stranded in the old merchant tunnel up the northern path. Think you could get to them? If you see any soldiers in need, help them out. Anyone who falls, the Heritans will just raise them to fight against us. But the most important thing is getting to the main, though. He dies here. That's one more blow to the Dominion. I don't know. I haven't seen him myself, but I can't tell you how many soldiers have fled from the forest, terrified and bewildered, mumbling to themselves about Naaman. To hear them tell it, the prince, or whatever he's become, is everywhere. Not long ago I heard Naaman was leading them. Then he died, and I heard that wasn't true, that he was a hero. Now, I don't know what in oblivion to believe. After the death of Sylvanar, the Main came to offer his condolences, and his assistance to Valenwood. Then this mess started. He led a scouting patrol into the old merchant tunnels, but they got cut off. It's possible they've all been killed.
The incessant clamor of the undead at the gate finally stops, and you come through the gate. It is a relief to finally see someone new from among the living. Is Akuzri correct in thinking you have come to our aid? Good, very good. The tunnel is cleared then, yes? Akuzri is eternally grateful. He can make it back to Marbrook and send reinforcements to hold the tunnel. The far greater concern is discovering what has prompted the undead to attack. Yes, this one saw the prince with his own eyes. He is no longer Naaman though. He has been raised and possessed by some darkness. Even so, Akuzri does not understand. The prince ordered his forces to attack, and then he disappeared. No one knows, but if destroying Marbrook were his goal, you would expect the prince to remain, yes? No, the prince planned something else, and his plans must be uncovered. You are clearly capable. I think you should undertake this task. You must consult with Indenir. He has already been considering this question. Akuzri must warn you. Indenir is very strange, even for a Bosmer. But this one has never met an elf with such understanding of nature. Come, let me introduce you. Indenir, the tunnel is finally clear. Akuzri will return to Malbrook and send soldiers to reinforce this location.
Yes, that makes sense. Perhaps it's better if I go out into the pass and try to discover why Naaman ordered the undead to attack in the first place.
Yes, both of you go. Find out what Naaman is planning and report to Malbrook. Don't try to do all this on your own. And of course, may bright moons light your path.
I appreciate the main sentiment and the support of the Dominion, but ultimately, it falls on us to protect Valenwood. Since the Sylvanar's death, I get the sense that Queen Irene feels she owes us something, but we Bosmer are not helpless. Of course not, and I'm grateful for your assistance. It's true that I can't do this alone. I just think marching the entire army into the forest would be a mistake. Come though, we mustn't tarry. We must discover the Shade's true motivation. I don't think it's that simple. The Shade has assumed Naaman's form. It retains some of Naaman's memories, but it's a different entity now, with different motivations. The Shade is undead, so we must consult the dead to discern its intentions. Drilladun Pass is old. Many Bosmer died here, and some cannot be raised by any magic. They are the accursed souls who violated the Green Pact. Come with me and we will try to commune with them. Perhaps they will know what the Shade truly plans. Oh, there are many ways. Perhaps they cut down a tree, or ate berries from the local plants. Sometimes their intentions were good, but Valenwood is unforgiving. If they violate the pact, they cannot pass from this plane. No, they are tethered to their remains, and they cannot pass into death, nor can they return to life. Thus they remain witness to all that transpires among living and dead alike, but unable to participate. Come, let us see what they know of Naaman. I've been underground too long. I can't wait to get back out into the forest. I think we're in luck. Though most of the local wildlife has fled from the undead, the torchbugs have remained. Many people do not know this, but torchbugs are among the most perceptive creatures in the forest. They're amazing. I can ask one of them to lead you to the remains of the cursed dead. If you can find the skulls or some such, bring them to the stone table. I will go ahead and prepare so we can commune with them. Just trust me on this. It'll work. You'll see. Let's see if I can speak to this one. Come here, little one. Yes, that would be so helpful. Thank you. Off it goes. Follow it to find the skulls and then meet me at the stone table. You who were condemned, hear me. Your only hope of being released is to tell us why the dead have been risen.
Ha! We need no release. The Shade of Naaman heralds a new age, an age where we will be restored, and you are the ones who will be judged.
Hold on, how do you know that? Did the Shade actually tell you that?
It doesn't have to. When the forest is transformed, who do you think will inhabit the Shadowwood? We will.
Naaman does not have the power to release any of you, but I do. Help us and you'll have your chance at freedom.
I'll tell you, don't listen to that fool. The Shade seeks to corrupt the forest, to create a new realm. It's called the Shadowwood.
I suspected something like this. It explains what we've seen. The Shade of Naaman does not seek destruction, it seeks transformation. We need to close these shadow rifts quickly. First though, I promise their souls release. Not easily, but I promise them. Since I will fulfill the sentence, I think you should decide whether any of them should be released.
Fool, do you not see what's upon you? Look around. The shadow will consume all Tamriel and usher in a new age. An age where the dead will be redeemed and the living will suffer. The other races laugh at us. Why do we depend on them for wood we could easily take for ourselves? The Green Pact is for the weak. We are not the servants of the forest. The Green should serve us.
It's odd to watch the slaughter of your people through the empty sockets of your own skull. My family was slaughtered by the Wood Orcs, and I burned down their village, every last structure, every last tree for revenge. I shouldn't have harmed the forest. I should have rallied my people in a morning war and feasted on my enemies.
We told you what you wished to know. Little good that it will do you. But we were promised release. Please, you must release me. I shifted, which is strictly forbidden by the Green Pact. I was cocky, did it to prove that I could, that's all. It was a mistake. I understand that now. Please, I've suffered enough.
Glad that's done. The pleading of the condemned is almost too much to bear. One way or another, they are returned to the forest. I won't question your judgment. Their fates are decided, but the fate of Valenwood is what concerns me. These shadow rifts the skulls mentioned, we must close them quickly. That's where the Shade's realm is bleeding into ours. I haven't quite figured that out. I can feel them, though. They feel like wounds in the forest. I have some small ability to mend the green, but it requires all of me. I'm going to need your protection.
You go too far. Now you will experience the Shadowwood for yourself.
What foul magic is this? Is this the Shadowwood? It is. This is what the Shade seeks, to transform Valenwood into this, a realm of darkness and evil. It's inconceivable. I do not know. I never imagined this realm would be so elaborate. How could he create this? Where does he get such power? We have to stop this, whatever it takes. Perhaps we can find the source of it. Yes, we must. Perhaps there is a gateway back to our realm, back to Valenwood. Some place where life and death intersect. That's it! The stone table! I must go. I'll meet you there.
I hope you like it here. You're about to become a permanent resident.
It seems our circumstances are even worse than I imagined. The corruption of the Shadowwood expands across the forest. I fear it's too late to contain it. We must find the Shade of Naaman himself, here on this plane, if we are to stop him. I know not, but I certainly aim to find out. First, though, you must report what we've learned to Marbrook. We need to at least keep them informed. Don't worry, when the time is right, the forest will help me find you again. Until then, be safe.
I can't believe my eyes. The undead are actually receding. For a while there, I thought you were making a last stand here. I'm betting it wasn't our brilliant tactics that drove them away, though. Conquering Marbrook wasn't their top priority, was it? Then it's as the main suggested. Magical forces are at work here that we can't fight with sheer numbers. I shouldn't be surprised. I'm just glad we have you and Indenir on our side to sort this out. Yes, I think maybe Ifri smiles on us after all. I wish this victory didn't feel so hollow. Other than keeping the undead at bay, it seems there's little we can do to battle this darkness. We are here to support you and Indenir, though, if you need us. Are you going to rejoin him now? That's Indenir for you. Always trying to shoulder all the burden himself. We can't let him get away with that, though. There's whispers that Naaman's actually been raised as a lich, and if that's the case, Indenir's definitely going to need you. One of the spinners said Naaman was a lich and was at Hectorheim. You and Indenir should go there too when time allows. For now, though, Indenir's bound to be in Varant Morass or Dreadful Lane. You should catch up with him. He needs you. Indenir's a real piece of work, isn't he? I always thought he was half mad. They say he has the green in his blood, but most things that man does, I just don't understand. Recently, though, I've realized just how fortunate we are to have him. Mad as he is, I thought he came from the Bramblebreach clan, but some said it was Woodhearth. Truth is, no one knows. Even heard he was raised by an old Grot Oak. cradled in its roots, weaned on the dew from its leaves. He's a mystery, all right.
Well, aren't you the bold one, running around this part of the forest? You've got to be either fearless or just plain foolhardy. Haven't you seen the undead? I'm a Vine Desk Ranger, and I'm not even sure I'm safe here. Ah, yes, you're the one he mentioned. He'll be glad you're here. The Veiled Heritants were one thing, but the undead are too much. They're Blackroot clan. They were a cruel lot even when they were living, and now they're even worse. Don't ask me. We're at a standstill as far as I'm concerned. I'm not even sure what's at stake. Until I know more, we're hunkering down here. Indani has been running around, though. He's probably got a plan, but you two are on your own for now. You know, he comes and goes. Oh, yeah, there he is.
Did she tell you? One of the greatest mysteries of Valenwood has finally been solved. Decades of conflicting rumors have been put to rest. We finally know what happened to the Blackroot clan. They died, right here in Verlaine. Yes, once again the work of Naaman's Shade and the Veiled Heritants. And yes, I do realize we need to return them to rest, but I'm hoping we can uncover more about what happened here while we do. Are you ready to get to work, my friend? The Blackroot clan warriors are even more bloodthirsty in death than they were in life. But there are also other spirits here, glimmers from the past, crying out for help. I think they're trying to show us something. We need to watch them. Look for the glimmers of the past I spoke of. Hopefully they will help us figure out how to put the Blackroot clan back to rest. What's that over there?
Elfirion, General Malvar, and the rest of the Blackroot troops are almost upon us.
No! That plan is mad!
Silence, Clomia. Our sacrifice today will ensure our sister villages live on.
Light it up!
Here's another scene. Let's watch.
Elfie, I can't do this. I'm scared. I don't want to die.
It's all right, Linril. The poison itself is slow. The Black Root will have cut our throats long before you felt its effects. Here, we'll drink it together, and I'll fight by your side till the end.
Until the end.
Now, to battle!
Look, another one!
That's the last of them, General. The village is clear.
An easy victory. Verlaine is the first to fall. There will be more. Now, per the meat mandate, let us feast on the fallen. Prepare the cave temple. It's a suitable place for a celebration.
Look, another one.
General Morgoth, the troops. Half of them are dead. The other half...
are dying, including us. This is poison. The villagers poisoned themselves to poison us.
What do you mean?
The meat mandate, you idiot. Elfirion knew she couldn't win on the field, but she'll still manage victory. To the Nereid Temple. Perhaps we can beg a cure.
Here's another scene. Let's
Rise,
watch.
my soldiers. Back to your bodies and take up
Why
arms.
do you command us from the ooze?
A powerful one, unknown to me, has stolen my bow. It invoked the right of theft, and commanded we march against the Dominion.
By your command.
a sacrifice. To think the villagers actually poisoned themselves in order to poison the Blackroot clan. It may be morbid, but it's also brilliant. Of course, that really doesn't help us return the Blackroot warriors to their graves, does it? From what I gathered, one of Naaman's servants has stolen General Malgoth's bow and compels the Blackroot clan to fight by the right of theft. What we need to do is steal the general's bow back, and then we can release him from his vows. We must rely on the scenes of the past. After being poisoned, General Malgoth went to the Nereid Temple. It's likely he died within. I suggest you go in and search for the general's remains. I'll continue searching for clues out here in the forest. Be wary in there. Nereids wield dangerous magic and can never be trusted. It's no surprise they helped the villagers in their suicidal plot. In fact, the Nereids probably consider General Malgoth's bow a prize. They will defend his remains. Desperation turns enemies into allies. The villagers knew General Malgoth and the Blackroot clan were going to attack, and they knew they couldn't win. Likely they asked the Nereids for help, and the Nereids convinced them this was the best course. Of course, Malgoth sought to unite all the Bosmer under his leadership. He led the Blackroot clan to conquer much of Valenwood during the Bosmer tribal wars. Then, one day, they just disappeared. No one knew what happened, until now. The Bosmer have always been free peoples, bound only to the Green. Rarely have the tribes united under singular leadership, although for a period many, like Malgoth, tried. Most of the so-called wars were not fought at all, but won by trickery. Yes, General Malgoth had traveled far and wide. He had seen the greatness that comes to those who conquer through military might. That you'd not heard of him is a tribute to the sacrifice of the Verlaine Bosmer. Because it's in their nature. Death amuses them, and all the more when they can manipulate people into bringing about their own demise. As distasteful as it may be, the Nereids are part of the natural order. I just try to stay away from them. As barbaric as it seems, many clans still lived by the old traditions during the Bosmer tribal wars. Mind you, they didn't consume the bodies of the dead because they enjoyed the taste. It was a matter of tradition. Apparently so, though the tactics they embrace sound more like a Nereid plot than something the villagers themselves might have come up with on their own. For General Malgoth, that's apparently the case. For all his ambition, he was still a staunch traditionalist. It's actually quite impressive that his sense of honor remains intact even so many years after his death. I'd say this is a perverted case. The value that Malgoth placed on his bow alone may be enough for him to want it back. Or he may be using the right of theft as a more honorable justification for his new servitude. There was fear in his voice.
You would steal that which has already been stolen, then enter the Shadowwood in secret, though you will find only death. The bow is a boon to our army. You will not have it.
We're back in the Shadowwood. I had hoped not to visit here again. But if this is where he is holding the General's bow, then it's just as well. We need to find the shade to get the bow back. I don't know. We'll have to search until we find it, though. In the meantime, however, do you recall the glimmers of the past we saw earlier? It seems those spirits are trapped here in the Shadowwood. We should release them. It's the shadow rifts that bind them here. From this side, you only need to touch the rifts to close them. That will release the spirits from their torment and weaken Naaman's grip on this place. If you'll focus on that, I'll search for the shade. Good luck, and see you by the stones.
You will soon join us and fight at Malgoth's side.
betrayed us. May Ifrit smile on you. You closed the rifts that bound us here. You must stop that shade, though. It ceased to do terrible things to Valenwood. Though I have passed on many years gone now, I still consider Valenwood my home. Thank you, and thank you again for releasing us from his grasp. To be pulled back from the rest of death and bound like this, forced to serve such darkness, was sheer torture. Though we are dead, the people of Verlaine are in your debt. Yes, I suppose there is. I can give you a shield that will protect you from harm while you remain in the Shadowwood. Take it, and my blessing. May Ifra watch over you in this realm and back in the realm of the living. Good luck.
Naaman warned me about you, and I prepared. You will die, and then you will serve.
Something's changed. I do not understand what's going on here.
That was a harrowing experience all around. I'm glad it's over. I hope we have succeeded in weakening Naaman's grasp on Valenwood as a whole. Only one thing remains. We must deal with the spirit of General Malgoth. Yes, and since you have succeeded in stealing it, it falls on you to invoke the right of theft with the General. Whatever you ask him, he will be compelled to do. The compassionate choice would be to release the General and his army, to allow them to return to their rest. But if you prefer, you might ask them instead to turn against Naaman and aid our forces in the fight for Valenwood. The choice is yours.
So it's true then? You have retrieved my bow from the shade? My father told me, you will find your bow in an animal's bone. Before it's even carved, you will see it. Mammoth's tusk. Extraordinarily difficult to make a good bow out of, but it was just like he said. I saw it, and I knew. What do you want? You want... I've misheard you. I thought you said leave. But we don't deserve rest. Not after what happened here. We belong to the Ooze.
You released him. I think that was the right thing to do. Since you already freed the villagers' spirits from the Shadowwood, that means all the spirits here can now be at rest. We've done a good thing here. We've done all we can here, but it's clear that Naaman still seeks to harm Valenwood, so our work is not finished. I suggest we spread out and search for signs of darkness. When Auriel wills it, I am certain the Green will bring us together again. Unless you have questions for me, I will soon be on my way. We should both search the forest for other signs of Naaman's corruption. I fear at some point we will have to confront Naaman himself. A spiritual prison of a sort. Bosmer who break their oath to the Green Pact go there when they die, to reflect for an eternity. There's a place called Owls, where we bring the bodies of Oathbreakers. Some think it's a physical link to the Ooze. Stay away! It's not safe here! I'm glad you're here. I've been trying to help these poor people, but it's futile. There's a blight here that's turned them into rabid beasts. These Bosmer may be beyond aid, but we must find a way to stop the blight from spreading. Undoubtedly, it's the corruption of Prince Naaman's shade, spreading through the forest and somehow affecting the people here. The blight emanates from the trees, which may offer us an opportunity to at least contain it using the standing stones. Long ago, before the Green Pact, the Standing Stones were used to protect the people from the aggression of the forest. If we can activate the stones, it could prevent the trees from spreading the blight to anyone else. We must work quickly, my friend. Clearly, the blight doesn't affect all Bosmer, but if anyone wanders into this area, I suspect there is a strong chance they will become afflicted. If we forbid a scouting party of Vinedusk Rangers comes here. I can't be sure, but I suspect it's our people's connection to the green that allows us to be infected. Other races will be immune. It also seems that some Bosmer can resist the blight. For that, I have no explanation whatsoever. I think I can actually sense the blight attempting to corrupt my mind. I've never felt anything like this. If the eldest has been corrupted, then everything in this area, every plant, every creature, and every person will soon become corrupted as well. I can't imagine how this blight can so easily penetrate the forest's protections. It is an ancient plant, a strangler. It's been here from the beginning. It's the lifeblood of the forest in this area. If the eldest is truly tainted, then regardless of the Green Pact, we must slay it. I don't think so. We must consider the significance of the Green Pact as a whole. At its core, it's a covenant in which we protect the green and the green protects us. In this case, we must cut off the limb to save the trunk. It's the only way. Not without assistance. After we've killed it, you must remove its heart. We may be able to use that to grow a new strangler to take the eldest's place.
You can destroy the eldest, but you cannot have the heart. It belongs here in the Shadowwood. You will bring it to me.
And we find ourselves here once again. It's so unnatural. It makes me feel queasy. The eldest's heart must be the nexus that ties this plane to ours. I suspect it is also tethered to Naaman's servant, the one who addressed us. We have no choice, though it sounds as if we risk handling the eldest's heart back over to the enemy. Perhaps, though, we might also purge more of the blight while we were in this realm. That might help us both here and there. The trees in the forest. The taint came from the eldest, but it has undoubtedly spread to the spirits of the trees themselves. If we can slay the corrupted tree spirits, more of the forest may be spared. The eldest's heart can help us. The heart's energy could help you slay the tree spirits, but I'm actually not sure that will be a good idea. If we use the heart this way, it will be corrupted. It would destroy any chance of using it to grow a replacement for the eldest. Thank you for understanding. I do not wish to make this any harder, but I feel that compromising the eldest's heart would be wrong. Go on then, kill the corrupted tree spirits. I will search for Naaman's servant.
Your hopeless heroism ends here.
It wasn't easy, but we did it. We stopped the blight from spreading, defeated Naaman's servant, and we still have the heart we can use to grow a replacement for the eldest. All things considered, this went as well as I could have hoped. Thankfully, your efforts within the Shadowwood saved many of them. But there is still much corruption in the forest. I can feel it. Our work is far from finished. Here, I'll take the heart now.
Auriel, grant me strength. I hope you're the one Indenia spoke of. Thank the Eight. The army here is greater than we anticipated. Damn these gates. Damn the corruption. I should be in there, not Indenia. You said you'll be able to pass through. Help him. Stop Naaman. He wasn't wrong. The veiled heritance subjected my brother's body to an unnatural resurrection, as a lich. He has the Staff of Magnus, and is using it to suppress Hectorhaim's necromantic wards and raise an undead army. Very. According to Indenia, Hectorhaim guards the heart of Valenwood. He believes Naaman is corrupting it, and this corruption turns any soldiers we send forth feral. Indenia knows more. He waits for you at the gate. Indenia believes he can enter unharmed, and you as well. I pray he's right. We have only limited understanding of the history. Some time after the passing of the Aeliads, a necromancer or group of necromancers tried to raise an army of the dead. Necromantic wards were put in place, but now Naaman is suppressing them. Even as a lich, I don't believe Naaman is powerful enough to disrupt the ancient wards. Elendari believes it's the Staff of Magnus. We must retrieve the staff and secure it for the Aldmeri Dominion. Some say it once belonged to Magnus, the god of magic himself. Some say it was a gift. Others say it was stolen. Others believe it's a test. It suppresses magic, and it seems Naaman is using it to subdue the wards. I little understand it, but the Bosmer have described it to me as the center of Greenshade. As Naaman is allowed to corrupt it, the forest will die. The Bosmer here would lose their homes and be forced to flee.
Believed you're here, my friend. As dark as my fears may have been, they pale in comparison to the reality. If the shade of Naaman corrupts the heart of Valenwood, then the realm he calls the Shadowwood will soon consume this one. It won't be easy. The enchantments that once kept evil out are now corrupted. It's something similar to the blight we saw in Verant Morass, but much stronger. Every soldier who's entered has turned feral. Even you and I would not be immune. It's risky, but to defeat the darkness we may have to embrace it first. The green is corrupted, and I think I can use my connection with it to thrust us into the realm of the Shadowwood. In that realm, I suspect we can get past the blight. Let's hope this works. All right then. There, we're in Shadowwood again, as foul as it ever was. We should be able to bypass the blight though, and all the feral guardians that would block our way. Once we get in there, we need to head for the grotto. That's where the heart is. There's only one way to find out, isn't there? If we go feral, that's that. If not, I still suspect we'll encounter some resistance. The Shadowwood hasn't lacked for corrupted spirits elsewhere, and I can't imagine it will here either. Ifrit bones! He's turned so many! We have to stop this! As formidable as you may be, I fear we couldn't get through here in the physical way. I knew we couldn't be that lucky. The shade has blocked the way. Let's see. These pedestals look as if they're still active. Yes, I know what to do. This is the entrance to the Valenheart. It seems the Shade of Naaman has taken care to ensure his work is not disturbed. This is an ancient Ayleid barrier. We'll need to activate the pedestals to pass. We'll need to get the keystones, Welkin stones I imagine, and the Shade has likely scattered them throughout the branches of Hectorheim. There is more too. I will need to study these pedestals to decipher the way of unsealing the door. Good thinking. Whatever we can do to speed this up. In fact, as soon as you find each keystone, bring it here before searching for the others. That will help me puzzle this out more quickly.
I warn you, the Naaman you faced before was fettered by fear and mortality. I have no such limitations.
The Welkin stones are the only way to break the barrier and enter the heart. Welkin stones are the... I'll get you back in.
You are throwing your life for naught. The heart is already corrupted. There's nothing you can do about that now.
Welkin stones are the only way to break the barrier and enter the heart. Let's get you back in there.
Come and witness my wrath achieved. Then you will die.
Good. This should work. Hurry, we have to save the heart.
My sister's pawn come once more to do her bidding. Why won't you just die?
Incredible. I've never seen such terrible power. But you didn't flinch. The Shade is gone. But his corruption is not. Look at the heart. It's overflowing with corruption, spreading the darkness all over Valenwood. I don't know, but I have to try something. As I suggested before, perhaps the only way to defeat the darkness is to embrace it. I think I might be able to draw the corruption out of the heart and into myself. It'll be the end of me, I suppose. But the loss of one life, to save the Valenwood, there's no choice in that. Ifre, guide me. I hope this works. making. Just a little more.
By the eight, Indeni. What happened to you?
This can't be right. It shouldn't have to end this way.
Indenir is dead? He is playing one of his Bosmer tricks. He must be. No. He really is dead. Dark moons. Curse you, Indenir, for being mortal. And curse us for being so slow to arrive after we saw the corruption recede. Just like a Bosmer. It is not enough for him to save us all. He must mock us with the nobility of his sacrifice. We will feel this loss more deeply than most. But it looks like the dead prince is dead once again. Indeed, Queen Irene should be informed. She entrusted you with this mission, so it would be best if you told. Wait, did you feel that? Look! Indenir!
Perhaps you should take a few steps back, Bane. The Valen Heart. It saved Indenir.
Saved him? Cariel?
The Valenwood brought him back. It's Ifre's will.
What happened?
Indenir, Ifre has chosen you. You're the Sylvanar.
Could it be true? Me? The Sylvanar? I fell down into death, and the Green reached out and picked me up and set me on my feet, and I was here again, alive. Incredible. Indescribable. Transformed. I have seen my making and my unmaking, and I am awestruck. I never imagined when the last Sylvanar died that I would be chosen. But if the people wish it of me, I will accept this role.
I'm going to go let Raz know. I'm sure he's pushed into the grotto by now with the Bindusks.
Yes, and Queen Irene must be informed as well.
Is it true? What Cariel speaks? Indenir resurrected? Raz has had his eyes on other things, or he would not have missed it. And Naaman. Raz assumes he's dead. Again. Queen Irene has already decided to blame Peladil and the Heritans for this treachery. But Raz knows she loved her brother in her own High Elf noble, emotionally stunted way. Tell her, but gently.
Kali wanted to be there, but Lord Garishri and Kozanabijo wouldn't have it. How does one expand her horizons if no one allows Kali to test her skills?
Shazar has never witnessed such a scene. Kalzanabi Joe thought this experience dangerous, but the history this one has learned. Shazar's sister may disagree, but the trip was well worth it.
Thank the Eight you returned.
It's good to see Akuz-Ri made it out safe and sound. Garesh-Ri tried to warn him of the danger, but he doesn't always listen. He sometimes forgets he's a spiritual leader and not a hardened warrior.
Quite an amazing scene to witness. How did this one miss it? Talking to torchbugs, healing the forest, seeing invisible spriggans. I thought he was just another mad Bosmer. Turns out, I was the mad one, and Indenir was the Sylvanar all along. Besides a timely resurrection? A wedding, of course. He will be joined to the Green Lady, and together they will represent Valenwood as leaders of the Dominion, with Queen Irene and myself.
To be trapped outside these walls while the veiled heritance destroys more lives.
We all saw the corruption draw back. It's such a relief.
I see you were successful.
You've proven yourself a valuable member of the Aldmeri Dominion.
My soldiers stir from their feral state. I can only assume that corruption has receded and Naaman is again put to rest. It is well. The funeral rites and honors may proceed as originally planned. My brother was a pawn of the veiled heritance, you understand? The mistreatment of his royal body only makes their treason the worse. Now, what of the staff of Magnus? Thank you. I will see to its safeguarding personally. The Sylvanar. By the Eight. Main Akuzri, is this true? If so, that changes a great deal.
His spirit was gone from the mortal world. The Valenwood restored him.
Indania?
The Main speaks the truth, Queen Irene.
Carrier herself said Ifre chose him. This one agrees.
Then rise, Indania. It is I who have the honor of bowing to you.
Queen Irene, please,
People of the Aldmeri Dominion, I present to you your new Sylvanar.
Looks like I have a long journey ahead of me.
We won a necessary victory for the Dominion today, and we have you to thank. I'll see to the staff of Magnus's safety myself. As for you, the Bosmer have their Sylvanar. With both the Sylvanar and the Green Lady, it's time the two became one. Go to Velen Harbor in Malabal Tor, and we will make preparations. The Green Lady is in Malabal Tor, but rumors of attacks from Redguards have reached us. It's imperative that the Green Lady be kept safe so that she and the Sylvanar may be joined. Velen Harbor, along the broken coast. It's a quiet little town, the perfect place for a wedding. Head there and inform the locals of the impending nuptials. I'll be along soon to bring the Green Lady her Sylvanar.
Unless you're here to help us, I'd ask that you be on your way. I swear, Zoxus himself has it in for me, or this is his idea of a joke. I've been complaining about how serving in the Guard is a waste of my abilities, and now we're in a crisis that demands my skills, and I'm woefully out of my depth. The damned seals are attacking, both the Sanctuary and the Grotto. They must have known about this place. A massive sea serpent has been bound here for centuries in the pool above us, and now a Marama mage has broken the seals holding it. I don't know. All I've been able to decipher is the seals were created with blood magic. If you kill the Marama and infuse this blood rune with life energy, you might be able to repair the seals. But there's more to it. I need to keep reading. If this works, I'll owe the gods an apology. Fill the blood rune and then use it on the 3 seals. After that, we'll have to deal with the binding pool. Hopefully, I'll have figured this out by then. I'll meet you up at the gate to the pool. Ask then, but be quick. If that serpent gets free, it'll destroy everything on the western shore of Valenwood, including Woodhearth. The seals are actually small pools of water. Elaine, Ralos, and Valir. They're named after those who sacrificed their lives to bind the serpent. That's all I know. Don't know how the mage broke them, or if the blood rune can really repair them. From what I've read, it sounds like that might not be possible. This is no ordinary sea serpent. The text refers to it as the Great Serpent. I don't know what that means, but apparently binding it here was the only way to stop it. I only know that he's very powerful. When our scouts approached him, he burnt them to cinders with the flick of his wrist. I suspect he also knew about this place beforehand, and he probably studied up on the seals, and on the serpent. Again, I'm only guessing here, but I read that the Maormer were once able to command such creatures. It scares the oblivion out of me to even consider it, but what if their mages have rediscovered such magic? You mean, did I just happen to be carrying one around? No. I found it with this text, and I'm proud to say I actually knew what it was. I've read a good bit about blood runes. Kind of a morbid fascination, I suppose. Did you see that? The Maormer mage had activated the barrier on this door to block us from getting to the binding pool, but I figured out how to break it. What about you, though? Did you repair the seals? We have to go out to the binding pool and channel the energy to rebind the serpent. I've read everything I can, but this is old, wild magic. I don't know if I can do this. And if the Maormer mage is out there, well, I certainly can't defeat him. Alright, if this works and you are able to defeat the Maormer mage, I'll need you to do one more thing. When I say the word, use the blood rune to activate the final seal. That's it. Alright, we can do this. Yes. Alright, let's go! I'll begin the rebinding spell. You take care of that mage! Zane's sweet mercy. We did it! The serpent's bound again! First off, I have to say I'm sorry to the gods for ever doubting them. Second, I promise I will never say that guard duty is beneath my abilities again. Never. I think I've done all I can. You're pretty tough. Tougher than me, at least. You may be ready for the next fight, but I'm going to need a few minutes. Go on, though. With you on our side, this whole Maormer thing will be over quick, I imagine.
One foot after the other and eyes forward, Helwyn. Best not look at what you've left behind. Turn back. That way's bad omens. Even the airs turned against them in Longhaven. The moors have always been a wild place, covered in thick fog. But for us who've known them our whole lives, it's home. Now, though, people have been disappearing into the mist. We find their bodies later, torn up and drained of blood. It's a reckless curiosity drives a person to look for cause in such things. Me? I'll take ignorance and a long, happy life in Marbrook or Woodhearth. But if you got to know, you might talk to Bredwin in his hut in town. He's staying, poor fool.
Welcome to Longhaven. Used to be a busier place before all this trouble with the mist. But we won't let that be an excuse for poor hospitality. It started a few weeks ago now, when the mist changed, turned a sickly color. All I know is what I saw with my own eyes. Hunters simply dropping their bows and wandering unarmed into the moors as if bewitched. Then their bodies turn up later, or what's left of them. Can't explain it. Except a wanderer, much like yourself, a dour Dunmer fellow, passed through here, bought supplies and headed straight into the moors. My warnings be damned. Seemed like he knew something. You want to figure this out? I'd start by finding that Dunmer. No, only the hunters. I manage clan affairs and the upkeep of the village. This was simpler before the forming of the Aldmeri Dominion. Valenwood is changing, and its people with it. I find my time occupied in dealing with the necessary adjustments. He was gone as quickly as he came. He was outfitted for battle, though that isn't strange for adventurers. But he walked as one who knows his goal, and will not be deterred. Strangely enough, several. They all reported an odd sensation that wasn't present before, as well as an apparent rise in hostile beasts in the area, but otherwise returned unscathed. If this is some spell, maybe some are more resistant than others.
Begone! I must finish my prayers and purify my spirit before I meet my foes in battle. I have been tracking my prey for many nights. A heathen vampire who shall soon be cleansed from this world. I thought him alone, but now that I see this place, I suspect a lair is hidden nearby. He shall regret leading me to this vile nest. I have hunted them all my life, and yet I have never seen magic such as this. I do feel their touch upon it. I feel it testing my will with every step I take. But I shall not falter. I shall face these creatures and leave nothing but ash behind. No fear, bravery, or foolish inexperience. I cannot trust one who could become enthralled at any moment. Prove to me you have the will to resist this foul magic. Find me at the lair up the hill east of here. Then I shall consider it. And now, my work begins. So, you made it through the mist. Your will is stronger than I expected. Vampire scum. He barely put up a struggle before he fell to his knees, begging for what he calls a life. I did not expect such weakness. I will finish him now, if you'd be so kind as to step aside. No. This pathetic being is hardly even worthy of my blade. The one I followed here is called Faenir, a much more formidable foe than this maggot, I assure you. We shall meet him soon enough. He and all of his coven shall die. As you wish. In this moment or the next, his existence shall end either way. But be wary. A vampire attempts to sway and beguile with its words. Do not listen, no matter what he says.
You must have mercy. The Dark Elf won't listen, but you will, won't you? We were different. I didn't want this. Kept to ourselves. Didn't prey on the living. The beasts, the Horvor, glutted themselves on the blood of hunters. We fed on them. We didn't kill anyone. It was a natural way, until he came. The Veiled One, Ultima, I think, sought an alliance, promised power, told us we didn't need to hide anymore. Others in my clan agreed. He taught them a ritual using an ancient vampire skull, said it would allow them to make countless thralls. The skull rests in the back of this cavern. Its curse seeps into the mists all around us. Destroy the skull and the magic goes with it. I never wanted this. Spare me and I can bring others to my side. We can be of use to you. Yes, he was the loudest of the supporters along with Athraidel and Lathriel. I saw them speaking with the Veiled One often. They never listened to me. You'll have to go through them if you want to reach the skull. Now please, just let me go.
Finished with your little chat? I shall relieve him of his head now, and rid us of his insufferable mewling. Did I not warn you of this? That his vile tongue would worm its way into your thoughts? There's no such thing as a good vampire. Just a vampire that has not yet been tempted. Our goals here are the same. Will you forget them for this scum? I can't oppose you. I don't slay the living. Only the dead. Run along, little worm. A brief reprieve only. I'll find you and your kin.
Oh, thank you. The rest who opposed Fëanor have already escaped.
Filth! Now to Fëanor, quickly! My blade does not enjoy being denied a meal. Lead on! I shall strike from the shadows. So that explains what we saw as we slew them. They bound themselves to the skull. Dark magic often comes with a heavy price.
Oh, a fellow member of the guild. Well met. I'm here searching for a few others of our order. I don't suppose you've crossed paths with them, huh? I see. So their lust for power led them to their demise. A lesson every mage should take to heart. Thank you for seeking me out about this. You've saved me much fruitless searching. It is good to know the matter is dealt with.
It's you again. The hunters say the mist has lost its sickly tint. Did you find the source? Vampires here. Sickening. Hunted in our own hunting grounds. We'll be more vigilant of their kind now. I'll see to it personally that every last one of them is destroyed. Thank you for helping us.
Ew. Did I overhear you correctly? Vampires were the source of the creatures in the corrupted mist? Oh, tell me it isn't so. It's just that my wife, Alcenia, was among the lost. And while some have returned, she never came back. I don't know if she's dead or just lost out there alone. I've searched for days, but there's no sign of her. I've just about given up hope. Would you? With the mist returning to normal now, it might be easier to find her. That's what I hope, at least.
I know you're looking for me. I'm showing myself to tell you to leave. Tell Thornor you found me dead. It'll be true enough soon. I'm going to end my life before I turn. I was out gathering fungi when the mist suddenly took on a strange hue. The next thing I remember is waking up in a dark place, surrounded by strange Bosmer with glowing eyes. They told me I'd be one of them soon. It's true. I can feel it. I don't know. I've seen my husband out here, calling for me. I'll keep myself hidden because I don't want him to see. I can't go home like this. When I turn, just leave me. I'll end it soon. I just want to watch the sea a bit longer. A cure for this? You mean like the potions the wild witch brews in children's stories? It's said her hovel appears and disappears at her whim, and that she could brew potions to cure any ailment. It's been a long time since I heard that story. And that's all it is. A story. I'm going now. Please don't look for me again.
Some of those creatures are still out there, but we'll deal with them now that you've cut off the source. That old tale? Sure. We all grew up hearing about her. An immortal witch who extends her life by bathing in blood. I tried it once. I just ended up feeling crusty. Most of our tales are based on some measure of truth. I've heard that some people think she was just an old Bosmer who went mad and killed some of her clan, eventually becoming an exile. Who could say for sure? So the story goes. I don't know about that, but Doralyn in the village knows the story better than I do. You might talk to her if you're interested in the finer details.
I'll have to make another trip to Woodhearth soon to replenish my ingredients. If you have your own, you're welcome to use my tools. Well, you've come to the right place. It's one of my favorite tales, though it's quite embellished these days. Better for frightening the children away from certain dangers. There are many versions of her in the tales, but they are all based on an old Bosmer who is very real. I've met her myself, though she is a reclusive one. She's called Galarith, and she's a master of the art of hiding. That would be up to her alone. She seems to only reveal herself to those that interest her. But you're welcome to try. She has many hovels tucked away in the wood, but the one nearest Longhaven is just by the sea, to the southwest. She is indeed an alchemist of great skill, having perfected the art over centuries. I can't say whether or not that part of the tale is true, but if it could be cured by any natural means, I would bet she knows how. What's this now? How would I know what others call me? I am Galareth, and you are inside my home. Why have you come here? I might have something that will do the trick, assuming they haven't fully turned. But I expect you to do something for me in return first. So she can't face her husband after what she's become? I know what that feels like. Very well. Take this to her as soon as possible. She must drink it before her transformation is complete, or it will be too late.
You again? Please, I have nothing more to say about it. I'm already suffering enough without you making a mockery of me. I just started thinking about my childhood now that my life is over. That's all. I like those stories. Even if that's all they were. Children's tales. Ugh. Tastes like bugs. I do feel somewhat warmer. More myself. Less cloudy. But what if they come for me again? I feel like they're in my mind. Always watching. I see. I noticed the mist had changed. I thought it was only my changed eyes embracing its corruption. Thank you for this. I thought it was hopeless, but now I can return home to Thornor. I will. I can't wait to see him again. Please, take this. It isn't much, for I can never repay what you've done for me, but I hope it will suffice.
Got to get out of here! This is not good. This is not good at all. These trees are unfamiliar, and there are spriggans and lurchers everywhere. Everything. I've lived in this forest my whole life, but I've never seen it so angry. Spriggans and lurchers everywhere, and a grove I've never seen before. It's hard to explain. I grew up here. It's a peaceful place, but now it feels troubled. There's a priest investigating in the middle of the grove. Talk to him. I'm getting out of here.
Please, don't bother me. This warding spell is quite complex, and if I don't finish it soon, there'll be nothing to stop the impending invasion. You see the spriggans and lurchers everywhere? They feel it. The coming invasion. Daedra. I am the last priest of the Wooded Eye. We were charged with protecting this grove, but the wards have failed. We have failed. Intruders, greedy for power, broke the wards and attacked my fellow priests. I can't defend against the coming Daedric invasion alone. I need your help restoring the wardstones while I complete the warding spell, or Daedra will overrun this place. They're on the high ground surrounding the grove. There are 3 of them. Please, hurry. We've not much time. The wardstones surround the grove. They are powered by magicka. I'm a priest of the Wooded Eye. The last priest, from the look of things. Can't say I'm happy about it. Get here? It's always been here. How to explain? It exists, but to most people it blends seamlessly into the forest. You can't see it unless you're woven into the wards, or you figure out a way to break them. It'll make this grove once again invisible to all except those who know where to look, or who are woven into the warding. Oof, them. One of them looked like he'd seen livelier days. The other just looked shifty. Both Aldmeri, I think. Too close. They nearly had us that time. The wards will keep the Daedra bound for now, but I'm still not sure how they managed to break them. We need to investigate Ilmyris. Ah, yes. Perhaps I wasn't exactly forthright. This grove exists to conceal the Cradle of Ilmyris, a library of secret knowledge. The Wooded Eye are its guardians. We serve the Woodland Man. You might know him as Hermamora. Yes, a Daedric prince. But the only reason the Daedra are bound here is to keep this place hidden. Ordinarily, they pose no threat. They broke their bonds when the intruders destroyed the wards, and now they threaten all of Greenshade. I do not know the mechanism myself, but Saramir, the caretaker of the Vault of Memories inside the Cradle of Ilmyris, he'd know, if he's still alive. Yeah, well, this crisis transcends religious differences, don't you think? I want to secure the Grove. You don't want Greenshade to be destroyed. Binding the Daedra is good for both of us. The spirits of Daedra supply magicka to the wards. It's all very complicated. The important thing is that you find Saramir and learn how to bind the Daedra permanently.
Such an interesting mortal. Your assistance might be just what I require.
So many names, so many faces. Such terrible understanding. You, I remember you. At least I think I do. Perhaps I just imagined it. That's all imagination is, you know. Memories of things that never happened. I am Gordhauer the Shaper, the Fire King Hadul, Haramir of Copper and Tea, the Flower King Nilichi, Umaril the Unfeathered, or I am just Saramir. It's becoming hard to know. I could tell you, but I've forgotten how. Or perhaps I never knew. Listen, the Woodland Man calls you, in the pool. It's best if you do not look directly. It looks back, you know.
I am Hermaeus Mora, the riddle unsolvable, the door unopenable, the book unreadable, the question unanswerable. I wonder if you understand why you're here. You will bind the Daedra, but you do not yet know what tendril of fate and fortune brought you into my grove, into this ruined reflection of my library. In due time. But as to the Daedra, their magicka powers the wards that protect my library, but binding them here is no small task. It requires a foundation of souls, each of different blood, from my servants in Tamriel. The intruders who broke the wards above unwittingly loosed the bindings here below. 4 of the souls broke free. In their confusion, they wander these halls seeking escape. Subdue them to restore the seal. I will reward your faithful service. Alien crystals impart memories directly to the reader. Overuse leads to a problem of capacity for most mortals. Willing or unwilling, all who strive to grow in skill and scope are my servants. 3 servants reunited to their master. Only one remains. A conundrum. The Bosmer soul escaped Elmiris. We require a replacement. Saromir, my caretaker, satisfies all requirements. Kill him and bring his soul to me. One will die whether you refuse or not. Put the mad priest out of his misery, or I will choose another. Be assured you will find that choice less than optimal. A considered choice. Go tell Saromir his fate.
What does my lord command? Wait, who is my lord again? It's all so muddled. Truly? I thought I dreamed my master offered me a place in his realm, in Apocrypha, when my service was done. But that may have been the caretaker before me. Kill myself? That would be a blessing. I'll be free of these memories, free to know who I am. Here I come, my master.
The ritual is complete, and the Daedra of Elmiris guard their very prison. Orthanir is caretaker now, until another comes to take his place. My memory is unerring as my word. In the crystal behind you, you will find knowledge you didn't know you sought, but others have killed for.
Not another memory! My mind is full!
Are you sure we're not wasting our time? How many people has this crystal killed now?
Patience. Rest assured, Elmiris contains the knowledge that Naaman's shade will need.
No, the roots. They envelop the whole forest, and at the center, such pulsing. Oh!
Pulsing? The heart. At last. Let me see.
Wait! What are you doing? The crystal will drive you mad.
Magnificent! Such truth, such clarity of sight. Everything leads to Hectorheim.
One by one, Naaman and Peladil expose my servants to the crystals, until their mortal minds cracked and groaned under the strain. What else? Power. They called it the heart of Valenwood, but no matter what it's called, it means the same thing. You have not yet earned that knowledge, which Naaman and Peladil took by force. They went to Hectorheim. Where you go is your choice. But I will be watching.
You made it out of Elmiris alive! How unexpected. And here I am, the last sane one standing. Hurrah, I suppose. No doubt you and my lord had a good laugh about that. Not that I've ever heard him laugh, or would want to. Replenish the warding ritual. Amuse myself by playing tricks on the babbling fools in Aldmeri. I suppose I'll have the time now.
Do you know how to read? I am called Sumiril. I am one of the Hollow. We live to serve the Wilder King, who is our god, our creator. I ask you if you can read, because I have this book, which is supposed to tell the true story of the Wilder King, and of my creation. I can read it, but I am afraid to. I am not like the other Hollow. I can question my existence. I can believe or not believe. What if the book reveals something about the Hollow, our purpose? I might crack and splinter from within. It must be done, and I would be most grateful. You should know that who or whatever wrote this book bound it to the labyrinth. To traverse one, you need the other. This book holds a single passage only. The words for the next passage will appear once you have opened the book. Follow them. They will transport you to a point deeper into the labyrinth, then settle on the page and create another passage. I have roamed this land since before many of these trees were seeds. In that time, I have wanted to know how I came to be. Yet here you stand with the answer, and I hesitate, uncertain. I am unsure what I will regret more, knowing or never knowing the truth. Forgive my indecision. Please, continue. Mortal? Like you? What happened to me? Yet I live, don't I? Past, present, and future are stark, stripped of illusion, and I am left with more questions. I will have to find a new way to exist, neither living nor dead, neither doubting nor believing.
Rest now, my love. It's all right. At least we're here. Memories of youth are the treasures of old age. Savor them, and those who share them. They'll fade, but they're as sweet as sun's dusk ale while they last. Tongues of Xarxis, I sound like a pedantic old fool, don't I? Forgive me. Yes, ignore my nostalgic nonsense. It's just an attempt to pretend my musty past is worth something more than it is. Getting old isn't easy. My dear Marilia is passing. We came to see the flowers, but they don't seem to grow here anymore. I don't know. Nereid's smile, they're called. So blue, so beautiful. There must be some nearby, but I'm too old to hunt them down. I wonder, though, if you see any, could you gather some seeds? I could sow them here, for old time's sake. You are generous to humor two silly old men, but those seeds would mean so much to us. When we were young, we used to sneak away from the clan and come here to be together. Lying here among the Nereid's smile, it seemed like we had forever. Not unless you can turn back time. No. To be honest, we've lived for many years more than either of us expected, but our time has finally come. Nothing can forestall my husband's death now, nor mine, which I expect will follow soon after. Life is so precious, and so fleeting. Don't let it pass you by. Take time to feel the caress of the wind, and listen to the way it carries the sound of your true love's name. Marilia, I never did hear anything so sweet and so dear. Yes, his passing was quick and peaceful, and we were together. That's all that really mattered. Soon I will rest too. But you're so kind. Did you find the Nereid smile? It's funny. The flowers meant so much to us when we were young, but at the end, we didn't need the flowers anymore. We had the memories. These seeds are wonderful, though. I realize now their true significance. Goodbye, Morelia. I sow these seeds in memory of the life we shared. Even as we fade, may others come here and find the same joy we found in the flowers and in each other. So may our love be renewed for all eternity.
Keep calm. Just have to keep calm. Oh, thank Ifra, you're not one of the Wood Orcs, and you're not one of the strange people in that cave. This has been the worst day, let me tell you. I went to get some firewood for my master's camp, but the Orcs chased me over here. I tried to retreat into the cave, but now there's a whole village in there. It was empty just last week.
Sounds crazy, but I know what I saw. I overheard the villagers talking about a caretaker and a tree. Maybe you could find this tree and discover what they want. I hope they're not invaders. It's much too freakish for my blood.
Wait. Ah, you're not one of those Wood Orcs, thank you, Frey. Welcome to our humble home. You met someone outside, did you? Some people get so frightened they won't talk to us. Yes, there is a village in this cavern. If you would like to hear our story, I'd be happy to share it with you. Promise you won't run away. Our village has a pact with the Wilder King himself. The village goes away, then returns every 100 years or so. Most of the time our arrival causes no problem. This time, however, it's different. Wood Orcs set up camp outside this cave's southern entrance. They've never been here before, and so we've kept quiet, hoping they'd go away. It's been a week and they are firmly established. My husband Aeronor isn't as worried as I am, though. My husband Aeronor can tell you more. Essentially, we travel to and from this place, thanks to the Wilder King. A caretaker protects things in the village's absence. In fact, we'll choose a new caretaker very shortly. Nearly everyone from the village attends the ritual to choose the next caretaker. No one knows who it'll be until the prior caretaker picks a name. It's held at the Fading Tree, through the central hall of this cave. You should see it! It's very exciting. It's a part of the oath. Ask my husband. He knows much more about it than I do. I prefer to scout and hunt, not tend plants. He'll be at the choosing ceremony. If you hurry, you can talk with him before it starts.
Ah, another visitor. You've arrived at an auspicious time for our village. I am Aeronor of Shrouded Hollow. You've met Lon, Ariel. She speaks too freely sometimes, but I will tell you what I can. Our village, as you may be aware, is not here normally. A long time ago, our tree thanes and ancestors swore a sacred oath, to which we are still bound. It's not my place to reveal the nature of the oath. For that, you must speak to our current caretaker, Henadras. If you wait, you might also speak to the new caretaker, when one is chosen. Indeed, it's an honor to be selected. Once the preparations are complete, the old caretaker passes his duties to the new one.
Who are you? How do you know about the Fading Tree? I'm not without sight. I saw you talk to him, he's right in front of me. How do you know about us? No point to that now, is there? You've entered our innermost sanctum and without challenge. It's clear to me the Wilder King blesses your presence. That means I am bound by our oath to speak with you, no matter how it galls me. We swore to protect the Fading Tree for the Wilder King, and to abide by his rules. In return, he protects our village. Every 100 years or so, the village returns to choose a new caretaker, to guard the Fading Tree on his behalf. Well, there have been other Wilder Queens in the past as well. Our oath remains unchanged, even if the individual is new to the title. That's the beauty of the arrangement. We protect the tree, and he or she protects us. The first Wilder King created the Fading Tree. All of Valenwood, from Bramblebreach to Greenheart, bends to his will. So long as we guard the tree, he remains our patron. Some consider him a god, like one of the divines. The village goes where the Wilder King sends it, and allows it to return when the caretaker needs to be replaced. I'm a very old man now. The village returned as it always does. It shall begin shortly, if I get a moment to prepare for it. We come together once more to choose the next caretaker. The Wilder King entrusted the fading tree to us, and this is part of our oath. My time as caretaker nears its end, and the fading tree will choose my successor.
What's happening?
The fading tree chooses Erenor. Erenor, you will be our next caretaker.
Me? The tree picked me. I'm honored. I'll do my best.
Come, Erenor. We have much to discuss.
Orcs! Orcs are attacking the village! Erenor, Cantadir, Oriadis, we're under attack! We're under attack. The orcs have attacked. We were caught by surprise, but those still inside are fighting back. You need to distract them. Kill their leader and burn their tents. We'll rescue the villagers. The orcs are camped off the cave's southern entrance. The Wilder King must have sent you to save us. He always protects us. Always. There isn't time to indulge in idle fantasies and what-ifs. Please, help the villagers below. I need a moment to gather what wits I have left. Praise the Wilder King, you're alive! I knew he would save us. We would have suffered much more if you hadn't been here to help. They killed quite a few of us, but we gave almost as good as we got. Have you seen Erenor? He didn't return from the fading tree when the others did. What? No. No, not now. Not when I need him more than ever. When we go, we leave a caretaker behind to watch over the fading tree. The caretaker and the tree are our link between this place and where the Wilder King sends us. I didn't expect Erenor to be chosen, and he can't stay. He can't. It's just... What I mean is, I can't bear to lose him. We won't be able to bear it. He's so excited and it's such a great honor, but he doesn't know what it will cost our family. I'm pregnant. I only found out recently. Erenor doesn't know. I'm not sure I want him to, but if he knew, he could leave with us. Please, please, convince him to return to the Wilder King's realm with us. I'm sure the Wilder King will understand. A family must remain together to raise a child. If Erenor stays behind, our child will be grown before he sees her. We'll be too old when the village returns next time to have another. It's our last chance. You don't know what this means to me. I'm afraid if I tell him, he might think I've made up a story to keep him with me. No, that's not it. I'm afraid he'll choose his duty over his wife.
Come forward, Erenor, caretaker-to-be.
I, Erenor, in accordance with the Oath of Protection, stand ready.
On behalf of the Wilder King, will you care for the fading tree?
I am honored to serve the Wilder King and our people.
The fading tree is yours to protect. May the years pass quickly.
This is incredible. I feel the life of the fading tree flow within me. Have you seen my wife? Where's Loniriel? Why hasn't she come to congratulate me? Has she? I love Loniriel, but we swore an oath to leave a caretaker to protect the fading tree. That is the price the whole village must pay so that we can live in the paradise the Wilder King creates for us. Do you think I haven't thought of this? But I would be failing my oath to the Wilder King and the entire village if I didn't stay behind. What? I didn't know. Why didn't she tell me? What kind of caretaker would I be if I didn't care for my own child? And yet, I have a responsibility to the entire village now. This problem comes at a terrible time. I must decide quickly. Not that. It's the tree. Now that I can feel its essence, I realise it's weaker than it used to be and needs special care. The village must return to the other realm immediately so the caretaker... so I can tend it without distraction. Only the old caretaker knew. The village is set to leave soon. If anything happens to the tree, its link between Tamriel and our village is severed. They can never return unless I stay behind. I would. Naturally I want to, but everyone else is ready to leave. As soon as the orcs cleared out, they prepared. There's no one left to leave as the caretaker. No, it's not. No matter which I choose, I'll always wonder what would have happened had I taken the other path. I know which way is easy and which is hard. What will you choose? I will do as you would since the Wilder King sent you to us. Perhaps this child shows the Wilder King is pleased by our service and won't let anything happen to the fading tree. Wouldn't let anything happen to it. My family needs me. When the village returns to the Wilder King's paradise, I'll go with it.
Eleanor, seeing you gladdens my heart.
Had I known sooner about you, about us.
I thought we would have more time. And now, we shall.
Prepare for our journey, beloved. I will join you soon.
I leave joyfully, knowing you'll be with us.
Fate brought you to us at this turning point. I'm glad to heed your advice. We must cling to life wherever we find it. You reminded me of that, and I thank you. The Wilder King could create a new tree in its place. Or perhaps now we're meant to stay in paradise. If the fading tree survives, we'll return again, and I'll know my decision was correct. If we never return, at least I'll be with my family to the end.
Zen's price. We don't deserve this. We've done nothing wrong. I'm beginning to think our clan's just cursed. Driven from our home, then we find a new place to settle, only to have the very earth itself rise up against us? It's not fair. I'm from Clan Drilladan. Undead attacked our village weeks ago. We fled here and found this place just abandoned. No one here. It seemed perfect, so we settled in, and then these stone men, the Hollow, just burst from the ground and attacked. Yes, we're no strangers to battle, but these Hollow, they're unstoppable. Strike one down and another comes forth. Please, if you are as able as you look, Indana still fights to drive them back. She needs help, and fast. I wonder if you weren't sent by Ifre herself. I hope so. We can't let these Hollow drive us away. We have to hold this ground. We have nowhere else to go. To the north, Drilladan Pass. Our clan has lived in that part of the Valenwood for longer than even our elders could remember. The Aldmeri came in and built Marbrook not long ago, but we stayed. Until the dead came. Hundreds of them. I don't know, and now that they're far behind us, I don't care. We've found a new home now. We must defend it or die trying.
Well met. If you're made of flesh and bone, I'm calling you a friend. These abominations, the Hollow, They've killed our tree thane and a dozen others. What in oblivion are they, and how do we get rid of them? Can you help us? I was afraid you'd say that. And all we know for sure is that the stony bastards are coming from the ground. I was thinking of trying to collapse their holes, but I need someone to defend me while I do it. What do you say? Are you up for it? We're going where the holes are. There are a few big ones they're coming from. Collapsing them may not stop the hollow completely, but hopefully it'll at least slow them down. If not, well, at least we'll go down fighting. You lead the way.
Children of the forest, these grounds are forbidden to you. I warn you again. Leave now or suffer the consequences.
We'll defend our new home to the death. Come back here, you stony bastard!
Let us speak. I can explain what is happening here. Perhaps you can be more reasonable than this, Bosma. These grounds are forbidden. Allowing them to settle here would threaten the health of the Valenwood. If they do not leave, we will purge them with the forest like a destructive rot. No. There is no alternative. These people must leave. Know that this is not our will. We would not harm anyone of our own accord. We would let them stay. But our directives are not self-determined. They were ingrained when we were created. I do not know. We were created by the Wilder King. Perhaps these were his directives, or perhaps they just come from the forest. Regardless, we are here to ensure no one settles in this area. That is our only purpose. I must emphasize to both you and these Bosma that we did not desire this duty, nor did we take any joy in it. But we cannot act against our directives. The only way one might circumvent this is to destroy us, and that would be very difficult to do. Yes. It does not violate my directives to inform you that destroying me would effectively render all the hollow in this area harmless. I have no desire for self-preservation, but know that such an act would do irreversible harm to the Valenwood.
I've never met the Wilder King, but I'm sure he wouldn't have created a bunch of monsters to indiscriminately kill innocent Bosma. Either way, my people have sacrificed enough already. We're staying here, even if that means we do so as corpses. Look, if you decide the stone abomination is right, and we shouldn't be allowed to stay here, I'll go back to the clan Holdfast and we'll take a vote. I warn you though, the Drilladan are not a soft-skinned bunch. I think they'll choose to fight.
Go. Convince your people to leave. It is your only choice.
You shouldn't have done this. I guarantee the clan will want to fight. The clan voted to stay and kill the one who betrayed us.
The loss of life is always tragic, but death is a critical part of nature's cycles. Some things must perish, so that others may thrive. Such is the case here. Though you may mourn for these Bosma, know that you protected the Valenwood. I know, and I suspected that might be their decision. They are not the first clan to seek to settle in this place, and sadly, they will likely not be the last. Hopefully next time we might convince them to leave in peace. We have no purpose, so we will return to our vigil. Our directors render us dormant until circumstances again warrant action. I have no sentiment, but I do have memories, and I will remember you and what you have done here to protect the Valenwood.
Stay vigilant. Pact soldiers were seen on this road only recently. Wherever they are, Aldolin can't be far. Hold! In the name of the Dominion! The road is perilous. Ebonheart Pact warriors have been harrying travelers, cutting down our soldiers. We ambushed the ambushers and put them to flight, but one of our own was among them. A traitor by the name of Aldolin. I mean to find him. Do just that. The Dominion can't afford mercy for traitors. Justice must be served, and swiftly. He cannot be far from here. There's a reward out for his head. Find him before I do, and there'll be coin in it for you. You look as though you have seen battle, friend. Tell me, did you find Aldolin? You've done the Dominion a great service. No doubt he was feeding the Pact information about our troop movements. That's lives saved. We'll clear out any Pact dumb enough to remain in the area. Thank you.
You! Help me! Please! I will pay whatever you require. Just help me. I will give anything to get her back. Pariel, my bold, brave, beloved Pariel, my wife. The Wood Orcs captured us. They did unspeakable things. They were going to kill me. She couldn't watch me die. She killed them all, but now she's missing. Pariel broke our pact with Ifre. She called upon Hircine, Master of the Hunt. He changed her. Now, by Ifre's command, I must end her before she hurts others. She fled into these caves. She knows my scent. I can't get close. She is not in her right mind, filled with rage at our treatment. Please, if she comes at you, subdue her. Don't kill her. I have no choice. What Pariel did goes against the Green Pact. She made herself into a monster, and she can never change back. I cannot let her wander unchecked or slaughter others. I owe her that. As any hunter would, look for signs in the cave. A broken stalk here, trampled ground there. Anything to show recent passage. Yes, the story is, the Bosmer received their form from Ifre. It symbolizes a break from our wild nature. Pariel called upon the Master of the Hunt. She gave into her wild nature and slaughtered the orcs. She did it to save me. I don't know. The change was not instantaneous. It was wild, fast, brutal. The Wood Orcs were unrecognizable when she was done. But she's my wife. I can't let her suffer. Stop! Don't hurt her! Pariel, it's me! My beloved. What has happened to you? She is wounded! Did you hurt her? Subdued. Yes, I see. I'm sorry. Now, please, leave us. I left my pack at the mouth of the cave. Inside is all the gold I have. All yours. I'm sorry. I was desperate for help. Desperate enough to color the truth. Pariel did this. Sacrificed herself to save me. How can Ifre ask me to kill her? I love her. I can't slaughter her like a common wolf. This is the only way we can be together. I will pray to Hircine and hunt beside my wife for the rest of our days. Now please, leave us. This is between Hircine and myself. Don't use my wife's sacrifice to lecture me. Someday you will love someone half as much as I love Pariel. Then you'll understand why I can't kill her. Damn it all! Why me? Why is this burden on me? Pariel, oh Pariel. I'm so sorry, but they're right. I'm so sorry. Peace, my love. It will all be over soon. Forgive me.
So much blood. The cries. I can still hear them. Oh, divine, so much pain. There were 6 of us. The Falinesti faithful. Wood Orcs settled on our holy site. We only wanted to talk, to convince them to settle elsewhere. We didn't want any trouble. They captured Halalin, Fanrel, Nielis, and the others. Took them away to torture and who knows what else. Oh, divines, what if they're dead? I should have fought. I should have cut their throats. I ran. Why did I run? I wish I hadn't run. I'm not a fighter, not like Halalin and Nielis. Praise Ifrith for that. Anything is better than another moment in Wood Orc hands. We tend the ancient sites occupied by the Falinesti. We protect the sites in the Great Tree's absence, and ensure the sites are ready for its return. Falinesti, the walking city. It is a great elder tree on a scale you cannot imagine. It moves from site to site, taking the faithful with it. No one knows. Falinesti has vanished. Some speculate the faithful failed in our duties, and the tree abandoned us. But not I. Not I. The tree is coming back. One day it must come back. You don't understand. In the past, the Wood Orcs respected the ancient sites. They never would have dared to profane one by settling there. Until now. We wanted to remind them that these Orcs don't care one whit about the ancient ways. A long time ago, but the attackers did not live to tell of it. Used to be that all the Bosmer, not just the faithful, would join to defend the holy sites. The undead changed that. The undead are everywhere. There is no one left to expel the Orcs.
You? Who are you? I'd not thought anyone was left to help. Thank you. The Norris and Pariel are gone. The Wood Orcs took them away. I heard them screaming. I do not expect to see them again. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. Please, don't let them hurt me. Not again. Not like... Please.
You there! You're not one of these savages! Free me, quickly! Out? No. Not after what they did. These Wood Orcs violated this holy site. They spit on the old ways. They captured the faithful. My brothers, my sisters. And they tortured us. The Wood Orcs will pay in kind. With death. Death from the trees, death from the grass, death from the mist and water and rocks. These Wood Orcs may not fear death. They will fear me. Meet me below the Wood Orc fort. The Orcs must pay. You found me. Good. Killing the rank and file solves nothing. These Wood Orcs celebrate violence. The chieftain is careless with the lives of his warriors. Now, we must strike close to the chieftain's hearth and home. The war chief must not die until he has felt my pain, the pain of my faithful. He will see his family murdered one by one. He will rage and cry. Only then will we grant him death. One life for each of my faithful. Dashkor, his torturer. Rug, his son. Thushlake, his huntwife. Grashla, his hearthwife. When all these are dead, I will permit Chief Gorzesh to die. Solve, you act like this is some kind of riddle to be puzzled out. The only way to stop this from happening again is to send a loud, unambiguous message, the kind even these orc scum can't fail to understand. Help me, or get out of my way. Then go. Find Eganor and claim your reward. Be sure to tell him about Halalin's mutilated corpse, and that you refuse to help me avenge him. I will finish this myself.
I'm safe. I'm safe. They can't hurt me here.
Nielis is back. Thank you. What of the others? Damn it, Fanrel. She should have gotten our help. The faithful should be avenged, but she will never succeed on her own. But I can't blame you for wanting to keep your hands clean. You've done more than we can repay. Thank you.
I can't stop hearing Halalin screaming. What were they doing to him? I don't want to know.
Damn. Everything tastes like blood. That can't be good. You made it past the undead outside Marbrook? Either that, or I lost more blood than I thought. Daedra, out of the Moonhenge. When the undead appeared in Drilladon Pass, we got cut off from Marbrook, and in the Daedra came, like beasts that smelled blood. An Ayleid ruin. We don't really know what it was for. Captain Ethrel and Sergeant Galandir took scouts to investigate, but they were captured. The Daedra are holding them for some kind of ritual. We need to save them.
Free at last.
You, come with me. Quickly, we don't have much time. Captain Ethrel and the rest of our scouts are trapped on the other side of that portal. The main portal was unguarded when we got here. Captain Ethrel took 4 of our number through. That's when the Dremora swept in and captured us. Set up crystals to seal the portal. It was a trap, and we walked into it like yesterday's dinner. That's the idea, but there are secondary portals all around the main one, protecting the crystals. Ready yourself for a fight. If we don't close the portal from the other side, the Daedra will find a way to reopen it. Basic tactics, soldier. I need to cover your back so the Daedra on the hill don't flank you.
Captain Ethrel, look at me. We're going to make it through this.
You'll make it out of here. I know you will.
Captain. Captain. Damn it all. Looks like we only meet in horrible places. Did you bring the 100 blades this time? No matter, you didn't need them in First Hold. The Queen sent me to check on our Bosmer allies, and a good thing, too. This whole forest is rife with corruption. I offered my assistance to Captain Ethrel when the Daedra came through the Moonhenge. The Daedra scattered us as soon as we got here. We need to find the others and close the portal before the Daedra organize. I've been watching the Daedra closely. The commanders pass in and out of a gateway to the north, or what passes as north in this place. If I had to guess, I'd say our Moonhenge has a twin on this plane. The Moonhenge you came through was an Ayleid ruin. But where did they get the idea? Find the keys the Dremora used to unlock the pillars that seal the gateway. I suspect we'll find the sigil stone that powers the portal through there. Haha, once again, you have your duty and I have mine. I'm going to clear the gateway entrance for you in the meantime. Send the others my way if you find them.
You again? You seem to make a habit of showing up just when things are getting properly twisted. After Dreadful Lane, I was sent to reinforce the outpost. You know how it goes. One moment you're sharpening your sword, and the next you're entering a Daedric portal in the middle of a creepy Ayleid ruin. I'll try. Might get distracted exacting some much-earned payback on these monsters.
This one will never complain about a job again. Daedra, imprisonment, and crazy Bosmer. There is no end to Azazi's suffering. At least you are here again to help me. Azazi's tail swishes with joy.
Ladies first.
This one is no lady.
These crystals are powering a seal, protecting the sigil stone.
What is
that? We're trying to break them, but it'll take time.
Our friend hunts for us.
Now there's just one more thing, but it's a doozy. Well, there is the matter of this Moonhenge. It seems to be connected in some way to the Moonhenge in Greenshade. As long as it's here, all the Dremora would have to do to reopen the portal is replace the sigil stone. So we'll need to destroy it. I created a scroll for just that purpose. Unfortunately, it requires the power of the sigil stone. As the sigil stone is destroyed, the portal will close for good. The person who casts the spell will be trapped here. This spell combined with the innate magical properties of the Moonhenge? This is alien magic we're talking about. We might destroy the entire Valenwood. Perceptive as ever. Frankly, you are the only one of us that we can't spare. For either of us to make the choice would only be self-serving. But be quick. The portal began to collapse when we removed the stone. Soon it will all be moot. Now there's just one more thing. Well, there is I created a scroll for just that purpose. Stop right there. You've got more experience at saving the world than us. We're not leaving you to rot in Cold Harbor. You cannot be... You're serious? Fine, there may be a planar tear before the portal collapses. You'd better come back.
Closed the Daedric portal. Moonhenge is back to its old self, plus a few decorations. But where's the captain? Damn. But it looks like everyone else got out. That's the biggest risk I've ever seen a soldier take. You deserve a medal. We'll mop up the remaining Daedra and start rebuilding the outpost. Thanks to you, we won't have to fight a war on two fronts.